Welcome, Triton Nation, to this installment of Iowa Western Football, going up against your Triton Nation. Today is a big one in Dodger Stadium. This in-state rivalry is huge and has been going on for many, many years. Today, two top 10 teams are going to face off for the early top spot in conference. I, Hank Ambrose, and Rob Jones will be back to you in just a few. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check.
I've got you. 1, 2. You can introduce me, and I'll make a point.
Okay, you want to do the countdown? Welcome everybody into Dodger Stadium for this matchup for Iowa Central going up against Iowa Western in this one. I am Hank Ambrose and I am joined with Rob Jones. Rob, how you doing today?
I'm doing real well, Hank, and we got two top 10 teams in a matchup right here that's going to mean a lot in terms of the ICAC race. Whichever team can win this game today is going to have the early advantage in the ICAC race. And for Iowa Western coming in at 0-1, there's a sense of urgency. They need to come in here and win this game. For Iowa Central, they're coming off a big win last week. They've got the opportunity to kind of put a stamp on the early ICAC race and let everybody know they're for real with that top 5 ranking coming in today.
Oh, 100%. We saw exactly what the Tritons did in week 1, 52-0 over there, and they got a really high explosive offense. They're going to run this 2 quarterback set with Byron Jarrett and Brady Pope. I interviewed Coach earlier, today in the week, and I saw that he said that they don't know for sure who's the clear-cut starter. They're trying to still figure out early, and this is a great testament to see who could carry the rest of the Iowa Central team going forward in this one.
Absolutely, and Iowa Western, a young defense, returns just one starter from last year, and Brian Wilkins. They're still trying to figure it out a little bit defensively. We'll see how that plays out throughout the game. And kickoff here, and Iowa Central has kicked it out of bounds, so Iowa Western going to start with pretty good field position here to open the game.
Yeah, and well, Iowa Central starting on defense right now. Here are some of the starters we got for the Tritons. We got number 1, Kingston McKinstry. Number 4, C.J. Christian. Number 5, Malik Okir. Number 10, Major Williams. 16, Ahmad Glass. 30, Mitch Baywek. 33, Dylan Kane. 35, Garen Olendick. 44, Tristan Waugh. 55, Romello Gray. And 90, Ryan Johnson.
Right up the middle run there through the A-gap for Iowa Western to open it up. Pretty good defense, good gap integrity by Romello Gray there for Iowa Central.
You know, I like starting those games with those inside runs because you got to get your body ready to go the full 4 quarters, go the full length, because you don't want to go in right away and, you know, pull a cramp or anything like that. And here's a little screen pass to the tight end here, running down the field.
Really good play action fake there.
That was Kingston McKinstry on the tackle there. That was Matt Burns for Iowa Western getting that completion right there. Here comes another pass, back-to-back here. Curl route got it to Donovan Moore right there for the Riviers. Red quarterback Nate Glantz got starting off early, 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, Glantz, a young quarterback, so what they're doing here is high percentage passes, try to get him in a rhythm, get some confidence here for the true freshman.
Let's see here, we're going to go 5 wide, got trips on the right side. Iowa Western defense are going some more curl routes, but got Glantz taken off here. And man, he's not the tallest fellow quarterback on the field, but he's got some wheels, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's an athletic guy, and that's a good read by him. As the back 7 all dropped into the coverage lanes, he saw room in front of him and took off.
Iowa Western super lucky. They can design those quarterback draws, fake them out to the pass, how they spread everyone out wide, and he just took off right there.
Let's see what the Iowa Central defense can do backed up in their own territory now. A little bit on their heels in this opening drive. They're going to blow it dead. I think it's going to be a motion penalty. No, they're going to call a timeout here. It's an interesting use of the timeout right there because Iowa Western is in a good rhythm here in this first drive. So obviously something that maybe they got crossed up on in terms of the play call. They want to get kind of corrected here, get on the same page.
Yeah, they've been smoking hot early on so far, except, you know, Iowa Central's got a really good secondary back there. We saw how good they were in week 1, allowing only 72 yards of total offense.
Yep, they did. The defense was dominant last week, and of course that back 4, the secondary, you know, a lot of talent there when you talk about guys like Major Williams, University of Virginia transfer, a guy who had about 25 offers from the Division I level coming out of high school and was a 3-star, and Kingston McKinstry, who's committed to play at East Carolina, and C.J. Christian, and I thought Ahmad Glass was great in week number 1, too, shutting down his side of the field. So a talented unit, maybe the best unit on this entire team when you look at their depth.
Yeah, and it always starts with the pass rush, the edge rush. That's what Coach said he wanted to highlight in week 1, and then he got it done. Hopefully we'll see some more of it in week 2.
Looking to see what we see out of Deontay Bryant after being the ICAC Player of the Week last week with a big game and a pass rush.
Here's another curl route out on the right side here. That was James Gilbert hauling in that pass.
Good job by Major Williams there to react to the ball and able to bring him down without much of a gain there.
Here comes another read option here. As Glance takes off, and he will get the first down, if not real close to it.
The mobile quarterback is probably one of the most difficult things to defend in the game of football, and Iowa Central is going to have to make some adjustments on that. Glance is showing his ability to run the football, and that's going to be something that's going to be in their arsenal in terms of play calling, and Iowa Central is going to have to adjust to that defensively. 3rd and a short 1, looks like here. No, they're going to say he got the first down. Okay, 1st and 10.
Here comes another pass. They're really liking these crow routes early on, and Iowa Central's just going to have to do a better job at pressing their man.
Yeah, they're giving some cushion on the corners there, and Iowa Western taking advantage of it.
Got Nate Glance. He's running the scheme offense really, really well, reading the defensive keys everywhere.
This will be the 10th play of the drive here, Hank.
Comes a motion for the tight end. You're going to just shovel it off to him, and they're going to lose some yards, it looks like there.
I think Glance was improvising a little bit there. I don't think that was the design. He saw a guy there and was hoping maybe he would have some room to run, but nothing doing. Good job of penetration by the Triton defensive line. Romello Gray there in the A-gap, and then Tristan Waugh as well.
Yeah, it looked like he had to make that one up right on the spot, as there's maybe some miscommunication in that play call. As what I saw was Matt Burns originally tried blocking.
And Iowa Western going to take another timeout. So that's 2 timeouts right here on this drive.
Within the first 5 minutes of the game, you do not see that often. Especially odd with how well they're doing on offense. They haven't had a lot of struggles. I'd say the most recent play was their first one.
Yeah, and I would say that what they're seeing is something in the pre-snap read right there is what led to the timeout call. Now, we'll see if that comes back to bite them later on in the first half in terms of being able to manage the clock maybe late in the half. But if they can get on the same page here, you know, I think they are approaching this drive with a lot of urgency in trying to get an early lead here in this game. And they put together a good drive here, 10 plays that started at their own 35. So they've marched down to the red zone here. And let's see if the Triton defense can make a big play on 3rd down and force a 4th down decision for the Iowa Western offense.
It's looking like a 3rd and 7 here. You can't really run an effective crow route here unless you're going to have a shifty maneuver to break the tackle and go for the first. Let's see what Glance got for Iowa Western. Glance looking, preserving the field. He's going to go long.
Kingston McKinstry in there, the East Carolina commit, break that one up. And the Tritons brought some pressure there. Iowa Western did a pretty good job of recognizing that and picking the blitz up. But the Iowa Western pressure caused Glance to have to throw the ball a little earlier than he wanted to. And then McKinstry was there, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And what looks to be here about a 38-yard field goal.
For Josh Jasek for Iowa Western here. Let's see if he can get it. That was the first target for Josh Simmons. I expect to see him, the slotty man, slot wide receiver for Iowa Western later on in this one. Here comes Jasek. And it's up.
And it's good. 38-yard field goal after an 11-play drive that started at their own 35. So good start here for Iowa Western. They took 3 minutes and 54 seconds off of the clock, too. So they've got the early momentum in this one.
Absolutely they do. And I think that the Iowa Central Tritons are going to still be riding pretty high on their 52-0 victory coming into this one. So let's see what they can do on offense now. Some highlights of last week. Both quarterbacks combined for about 250 total passing yards. Each of them had 100 and 133 each. and
And
3
that
passing touchdowns.
drive 45 yards on that one because they started out with good field position after the miscue on special teams, kicking the ball out of bounds on the kickoff by Swigman, not something that we're used to seeing. He was great. He also was named ICAC Player of the Week in terms of special teams after a good performance last week. So those kind of miscues against a team like Iowa Western going to come back to bite you, and it did on that first drive.
What skill position player do you expect to see early from Iowa Central succeeding?
Madison Ridgeway.
Yeah.
I thought Ridgeway really looked great. Transfer out of Air Force, really had a good game, especially in the second half. And I would imagine he's going to be a focal point of the offense today.
And I'll agree with you right there, Rob Jones. I'd like to see a little bit more from Jaden Washington in this one. He was very successful, but he didn't have all the yards I wanted to see from him on the ground. He had just about 70 in the last one.
I think you'll see a steady dose of him here today, too. You know, after the first half last week, he didn't carry it a whole lot either. They used body a lot in that situation, and got to look at some other backs with a big lead. I think Washington's going to be your feature back here today, so I expect to see him get the football quite a bit.
Trends are going to start off with Byron Jarrett out at quarterback here. Here comes a handoff for Washington. Going to do the same thing that Iowa Western did on their very first play. Just a short little draw, inside run, get a few yards, set the tempo early.
Well, it's a lot of new pieces on the offense for Iowa Central this year, but the one unit with a ton of experience is this offensive line. 4 out of 5 starters back, and All-American Richard Rodriguez returning to anchor them. Jacob Bradford, Syracuse commit as well. So they're going to lean behind this big offensive line to try to open up the holes and establish a run game early.
Formation going to go very wide.
Motion penalty. Now, we saw Nate Lance run the football, design quarterback runs for Iowa Western in that first drive. We may see that same thing out of Byron Jarrett here for Iowa Central because he's a dual threat kind of guy as well.
Absolutely. We got some similar play calling quarterbacks in this one with some similar formations. So this could be the battle at the quarterback position today.
Yeah, and whoever has that advantage is going to have a major advantage in terms of winning this football game. Whatever quarterback has the better performance.
I expect to more than likely see 3 quarterbacks in this game as Iowa Central still trying to figure out who their number 1 guy is. Jarrett back to pass. He's going to throw his own curl route. And that was out to Madison Ridgeway. That was nice. He's a shifty guy.
He really is, and you can see why he was coveted at the Division I level and was an Air Force guy. And, it puzzled me that, you know, a talented receiver like that went to an Air Force academy where their offense is a little more run-based, but here at Iowa Central, they're going to target him. He's going to be a feature part of the passing game, and we see that early on in this drive. Empty backfield here.
Byron Jarrett tried taking off on that one, but not past that defensive line for Iowa Western.
They were able to kind of collapse the pocket there with 3 men. Got a 3-man rush, got a lot of penetration there, collapsed the pocket. And Jarrett tried to take off as the pocket was collapsing, but didn't have anywhere to go.
It looked like Zay Hicks and DeJuan McMillan were there on the tackle. Jarrett now in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Washington. Washington making some moves and dancing around.
Pretty good job by Washington to bounce to the outside because there was nothing in that A-gap. He bounced it to the outside, was able to find a little room there.
Yeah, we're going to see Rich Taven and Calvin Knapp going pretty strong against this interior defensive line that Iowa Western's got, and that was just a failed effort right there.
3rd and 7 here, big 3rd down play for the Triton offense.
Jarrett now. Oh, shoot.
Was looking underneath there for Jalen Harris, couldn't find him. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and Triton's going to kick it away here. So Iowa Western with the early momentum.
Yeah, it looked like they tried going to like a little zig route right there, and Jaden Harris just wasn't ready on that one. Comes a punt, it's high and soaring way back there. Gonna hope to head towards the end zone, and Tritons are gonna get right on top of it inside the 10-yard line. What a great punt.
Tremendous job by Tokheim there, and that one took a Triton bounce, and they were able to cover it there. And so Iowa Western going to be backed up in their own territory. Now, this is going to be important for the Iowa Central defense, I think, right here to kind of make some adjustments. They've been on the sideline for a few plays now, make some adjustments from that first drive, and get a 3 and out so you can flip the field position right here.
Absolutely. I expect a lot of heat coming from this pass rush right here. I'm sure that we're going to see a jam to try to get out of here, maybe an inside run.
Got a power formation here.
There goes the handoff.
And that went nowhere. Good job of jamming the gaps there. '96 is in there for the Iowa Western defense. Deontay Bryant, of course, last week had a big game, 6 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. See what he can do here today.
Got 2 Rivières spread out right on the right side, and the ball's coughed up. Here comes. Oh, missed 2 tackles there. And oh my goodness, Glantz dances and he gets out of bounds.
Made something out of nothing there, because that could have been disastrous. Nate Glantz with a nice play to make something out of nothing there and avoid the disaster.
I believe that was
athleticism again there. We talked about his ability to run the ball and his athleticism on display right there.
I believe that was Dylan Kane that tried getting him right there in the backfield, way into his own end zone. Maybe he'll muff the snap here again. It is early into the season, so, I mean, we do expect to see quite a bit of that.
3rd and 5, big 3rd down play here. See if the Triton defense can get off the field.
Lance with the pump fake, and he'll scramble off to the left. Dump it off to his tight end once again. Matt Burns gets it done to advance the chains, and that's a 1st down for Iowa Western.
Again, Glantz able to buy himself some time and make a play with his feet and open something up, found the open man, dumped it off, and a 1st down.
Burns and Glantz have a really good communication. He's had 3 targets in this one already, and he's done really well on each of his completions.
So far, I'm impressed with Nate Glantz and his poise in the pocket for a freshman.
Glantz hands it off to Guerra. That's the 2nd time we've seen him in that one.
Talk about poised beyond his years, because he's a freshman making just his 2nd collegiate start here, and nothing has rattled him, no pressure, you know, the buff snap, all that kind of thing, and he's continued to be poised in the pocket, and that's just a testament to how developed and polished he is as a freshman making his 2nd start.
Shotgun formation here. Drops back to pass, and they're gonna go towards James Gilbert. That was Major Williams that blew the coverage right there.
Giving a big cushion, Williams was. And Iowa Western has seen that cushion's been pretty big, so they're looking underneath of that cushion, and that's working. That worked right there.
It's the shorter pass that's getting them really long yards. And oh, a nice blast from Kingston McKinstry right there on the running back.
Yeah, McKinstry's a guy that really is physical. Loves to blow up plays. You know, he don't mind hitting you at all. Not the biggest safety you ever seen, about 200 pounds, maybe 195, but really gets in there and blows plays up. He doesn't have a problem getting physical and bringing the heat.
Oh, yeah, I definitely saw he was a fan of the hit stick right there.
2nd and 8 upcoming here.
Play clock ticking down. Looks like there's still some more confusion. Down to 5 now. Glance hikes it. That handoff is failed for Iowa Western.
For Iowa Central 95, Wesley Bazell was in there, the freshman defensive tackle. Blew that play up, had a host of help, but he was the first guy to make the hit. Tritons take a timeout here on defense with the 3rd down upcoming. Got a man down here on the field. You know, the Triton defense has been good against the run here. It's the pass game and the quarterback run, the scramble of Nate Glantz that has kind of been the issues here. So let's see if they're able to kind of make some adjustments to that. And it's going to be a big 3rd down here to try to get off the field. They've not been good on 3rd down here so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, the Tritons are in a really sticky situation when it comes to covering Matt Burns, James Gilbert, Donovan Moore even for the receivers for Iowa Western, and the Tritons need to really choose if they need to sit back more on the receivers or target more of the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to give them that big cushion. Now, that's a lot of respect to give a guy a cushion like that, because what that means is you know that guy's explosive down the field. But what's happening is they're recognizing that cushion and then throwing underneath of it. So, to me, I don't think you can give them that kind of cushion here, especially not on 3rd down.
Cover 3 read for this Iowa Central defense. Here comes the rush. And Glantz is going to try to run with it. And he throws it over to Donovan Moore as he's going to get well past the 1st down and past the 50-yard line.
And that's another example of Nate Glantz using his feet to open something up, buy himself some time. He was able to do it again. And once he breaks the first contain, then the second line of defense, the second level, has to make a decision whether they're going to stay back in coverage or come up and try to get him. They started to come up, and he found the open man in the middle of the field.
You see the influence that these new West Coast pro quarterbacks have on these young guns. Here comes Glantz again as he gets pressured, and he gets popped. Here comes a fumble now, and the Tritons jump on it.
And Triton defense making a play at a big time in this ball game. Triton defense created 5 turnovers last week. That was big for Iowa Central in terms of getting a win last week, and they were able to convert on them. So now the momentum shifts a little bit. Let's see if the Triton offense can take advantage of the turnover that the defense has created.
That was Julian Beach that got in on the fumble recovery there. He subbed in early for Strickland as he had a cramp at the beginning of the game, I noticed, so they just decided to go with a 3-4 rush. Boy, did it work out there. Byron Jarrett now back in the shotgun formation. Here comes a handoff to Washington. Washington makes a move. Gets some yards for his Tritons.
Yeah, it's going to be important throughout the day to pick up yards on 1st down, have positive plays on 1st down to make 2nd down in medium situations. That's what we have here. See if they try to take a shot down the field maybe right here on 2nd and medium.
Comes play action.
In trouble.
Jarrett's going to have to roll to the left. He's got a little too much pressure, and he's just going to throw it away.
Smart decision by Byron Jarrett there to not take the sack, slip the initial rush, and then was able to throw it away. So you throw it away, go to the next play. 3rd down here. Pretty smart decision by Jarrett.
Much rather take a 3rd and 6 rather than like a 3rd and 14 or so, huh?
Yep, absolutely. A lot more in the playbook on 3rd and 6 than there is on 3rd and 13 for sure, and that's a smart, heady play by Byron Jarrett.
Empty backfield in this one. 2 to the left and 3 to the right. Let's see what Jarrett will do with it. Back to pass now. He's going to roll right. Looking.
Had a man open. Had Madison Ridgeway open on the other side there. They just couldn't hook up.
Had the right idea. Madison Ridgeway would have definitely been able to make a move and get that 1st down, but just missed. right there.
So Iowa Western gets a defensive stand, and Tritons will have to punt it away again.
And we've seen it early. Tritons are just kind of beating themselves down. They've had these opportunities to get the first down. They just haven't been able to move the chains as much as Iowa Western.
Uh-oh.
And the punt, and the snap goes way over the punter, as he's going to have to snag right on the ball. And Iowa Western's going to take possession already in the red zone on about the 22-yard line.
Tokheim had no chance there. That one would have went over the head of Shaquille O'Neal, I think, there, Hank. I mean, there wasn't much he could do. He was able to fall on it. It's the best option he had in that situation. Now, the defense is going to have to step up here to get a stop.
We've seen some trouble snapping the ball early in this one. Maybe a little bit of wind today. That could be playing a little bit of factor into it. So Glantz will take over in the red zone. Let's see what he can do with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. He's just going to hand it off now.
That's a good second effort by the running back right there for Iowa Western. Ezekiel Leggins. He was able to fight his way forward for a little bit of gain when he was initially hitting the backfield.
They're going to keep Leggins in this one. Doesn't look like Iowa Western was too impressed by Guerrera with his first 2 handoffs in the game. The second and long now. It's going to be back to pass. Glantz looking. He's going to go towards the end zone, and not enough there for Josh Simmons. He is going to lay out right in the, he got about the exact same pass early in this one. It was just a miscommunication on a post route right in the center right there, huh?
Major Williams stayed with him there. It was man coverage, no safety help. The safety was playing the slot man there. So Major Williams had to stay one-on-one. Good job of staying in stride with that one.
And I'd be hating to run a post route and having a safety like Kingston McKingstry to go up against, because he would rock me out, man.
Well, that's why you're not on the field. You and I are up here in the booth.
Yeah, you're right. And Josh gets his first reception. Josh Simmons in right there. He's going to get close to a first down. But it looks like it's going to be a 4th and 1 here. Let's see what Iowa Western will call. Got field goal unit coming out there. And Josh Glantz looked like he really wanted to go for that one. He thinks he could have scrambled for a first down, possibly.
And I don't blame him there, but the Iowa Central defense here, you got to take some small victories within the game, and I think this is a small victory for them to be backed up on their own 22 and get a 3 and out, force a 4th down in terms of a field goal. And it is only 4th and 1, so there may be a fake here. So Iowa Central's going to have to keep that in mind. This 4th and 1 situation would be, one where you may see a fake. There's a 38-yard field goal that was made on the first drive for Iowa Western to give them the 3-0 lead here.
Josh Jasek lines up to kick this one. The hold is good. Josh Jasek kicks it up, and it is good on that one. So the score will go 6-0. Jasek's got 6 points for Iowa Western now. Early in this one, we got 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. The Tritons will receive the kickoff right back to them.
Special teams looking good for Iowa Western here as they have the 38-yard field goal and a 26-yard field goal to make it 6-0. And they also got a big play on special teams with the bad snap over Tokheim's head to set up that field goal there. So as I said, though, I think for Iowa Central in terms of defense right there, that's a win because you don't give up the touchdown. You were already knowing that they were in field goal range to start with. So you give up a field goal there, you bend but don't break, and the defense was in a bad situation to start with. Now the offense is going to have to get something going here. Iowa Western has really dominated this first quarter. 6-0 is not really indicative of how they've been able to move the football too. And Iowa Central so far in the first quarter with just 1 first down. See if the Iowa Central offense can get on track with this drive here.
Comes the kickoff, courtesy of Jacek. He's going to get it up towards the 15-yard line. Here comes the run back and get well past the 40-yard line, and it's going to be a big return. Getting right next to the 50-yard line, I believe Iowa Central crossed it there, and they're going to be in really good position to go back and get a touchdown and get back on top in this game.
We just talked about how Iowa Western had the advantage in special teams. That's a big play on special teams to flip the field position here and start the Iowa Central offense off at midfield.
Byron Jarrett coming back out there. See, it's looking like a shotgun formation again. Have doubles on each side. Washington's in the backfield. Jarrett back to pass. See where he looks. Got a lot of time in the pocket. He's going to go towards Washington, but he's going to miss him on a little dump off. He's been not hitting very many passes on his rolling out to his right.
Yeah, he tried to check down to Washington, but by the time he checked down, the linebacker who was staying at home and spying on Washington was there in the area for the coverage.
Back to pass again. He's going to roll out left. He's going to go deep towards Jalen Harris.
And there's going to be pass
We're going to have a flag called. Pass interference possibly is down towards over there. Let's see the call here.
Harris was getting bumped the whole way there when the ball was in the air.
It looked like he was near double team too. They knew that they wanted to take a shot. First shot could be real successful if it's a PI. That was Trey Franklin there for Iowa Western that caused the penalty, giving up a lot of yards for them in this one.
Well, here's the thing, though. You take that 15-yard penalty there. I mean, if he makes the catch down there, you're looking at a 35, 40-yard gain. So, really, you're kind of flipping 15 for 40 if you're the Iowa Western defense here.
Byron Jarrett back to pass again here. Attempted screen, looked like it had some confusion.
Looking for Harris, nothing doing. Iowa Western's been able to get pressure on Jarrett here. Let's see if Iowa Central starts to mix in the run game a little bit more to kind of keep that pass rush at bay a little bit so they can't just pin their ears back and try to get after the quarterback.
This is also a big game for Jesse Montalto, as his career record as the head coach for Iowa Central is 36-36. I really wish we can see him getting into the winning record. Rain after this one, we'll see.
Yeah, and of course he does have the win when these two teams played last in 2019, a big win for Iowa Central against Iowa Western right here in Dodger Stadium.
Jarrett's going to take off. He's going to get a few yards there.
I like that idea. Follow that big offensive line here. Mix the run in. Trying to get going north and south, downhill here with the big offensive line.
Oh, yeah. Richard Rodriguez and Maximus McCree will definitely be your bodyguard if you're going to try a quarterback draw.
Well, and then you've got Winters, who goes about 340, and you've got Jacob Bradford, who goes about 320. All five of those guys 290 plus across that offensive line.
Third down here. See if Byron Jarrett can convert it. So go empty backfield. In motion is Washington. He's going to roll out right. Hasn't had a lot of success so far doing that. And just missed Madison Ridgway in the corner of the end zone. He had it right there too. I don't think Ridgway was just fast enough to corral that pass.
It was hard there. You're throwing into a window because there was bracket coverage over there with the corner and the safety. So you're having to throw kind of in a window between them. That's a hard throw to make, especially on the run. They're going to leave the offense on the field. 4th down, biggest play of the game so far for the Iowa Central offense.
This is what's going to call the momentum. Headed into the second quarter now. Got 40 seconds left in the first.
They're going to take a timeout and talk it over.
It's smart.
Yeah, I think so too, because of the magnitude of the play. It'll be the 7th play of the drive here for the Iowa Central offense. They got the first down after the penalty on the pass interference here. 4th and 3 upcoming. Of course, coming up at halftime, they're going to honor some former Triton football players here. A little bit of a homecoming reunion, if you will, for I know the 1978 national championship team, the only national championship team for Iowa Central in football. Some of those guys on hand here today. So, big game atmosphere here. Iowa Western has really traveled heavy. Last week we were here at Southern Shreveport, and of course that's a long way away. They might have had a handful of people here, but Iowa Western has showed up, and I saw them in the parking lot when I got here today too. So they're here in force to cheer on the Reivers. So this game, a big in-state game. Both of these fan bases know it. It's got big game atmosphere and implications to it, 2 top 10 teams, and everybody ripping and raring to go here. Iowa Western, to their credit, has come out strong here in the first quarter.
Yes, they have, and it looks like they're going to go with wide receiver Savion Johnson in the backfield. Instead of choosing Washington, they're just going to motion him out to the slot. Byron Jarrett now, he's going to look right.
Batted down.
That was towards Madison Ridgway as well. He would have gotten his 4th target in this one, but he's only got 1 to go so far. So we will have a change of possession. Go back to Iowa Western. Let's see what Glantz can do here.
And that's a big turnover on downs, big stand for the Iowa Western defense right there. Iowa Central had good field position at their own 50 and unable to get anything out of it.
Glantz and Guerrera check back into the ball game. Going to go heavy on the left side. Going to be a designed read option here for Glantz. He's going to go in and pick up a few yards on that one.
They do a really good job of selling the play fake here, not only on the play action pass, but also on the zone read give and keep there. And Glantz has done a good job of reading the field with that too.
5th run in this one. He's going to be tallying up the rushing yards in here. Here comes another run for Glantz. That looked like a little miscommunication as well. He was looking for maybe a read option type play, and that'll call out the end of the first quarter. The first one, 6-0, Iowa Western on top. And Glantz is looking really, really well early off in this one. He looks like he's ready to even jump to the next level. He doesn't have a win yet, but maybe that's too early to call.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. He's looked really good here in the first quarter. I've been impressed with his presence in the pocket, his ability to maintain his poise when things break down, his ability to use his feet to create offense when there's nothing there. Certainly he has that ability, and he's put that on display here in the first quarter. And so far, Iowa Western really has dominated this football game. 6-0, but that 6-0 is really not indicative. Now, if you're Iowa Central, your thought process is, they've really had our number in the first quarter, but we're still right here within distance. I mean, you make one big play and you're right back on top, or tied to the football game if you can make one big play. Now the defense is going to come out here and they're going to have to make a stop. This is going to be a big 3rd down for them. So if they can get off the field again, to me the defense has not played bad. It's the offense that has not been able to get going.
It'll just take one offensive member for the Tritons to get the rally going, and then I believe it'll just be a volley back and forth between the wide receiving core for the Tritons.
3rd and 6 upcoming.
Glance backed up. His side of the field, they're going to go back to pass. Here comes an interception to start off the second quarter.
And that's a big, big play right there.
And that is Garrett Olendyk back on that one. Olendyk on that one, getting the interception early. What a play, putting the Tritons in the red zone now.
And that's the second turnover for Iowa Western here. And now Iowa Central defense has made a big play. Now it's time for the offense to cash in here in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 13.
I guess Glance left his eyes on the other side of the field when they switched sides.
Well, he had locked in on that receiver. That one was pretty easy for Olendyk to read. I was reading it from up here. So he was able to kind of jump the route there, because as a quarterback, especially at this level, you know, you go from high school to this level, you can't get away with locking in on a receiver. You've got to look off those guys in coverage. That was zone coverage by Iowa Central. Olendyk able to read that and jump the route.
Yeah, just a freshman mistake that can definitely be corrected very early on. And I noticed Brady Pope came off from into the huddle, so we're going to see a quarterback change for Iowa Central.
Of course, we expected to see Brady Pope play some at quarterback. As they used a two quarterback system last week and coming in, they were expecting to do that as well. And when you think about Brady Pope, you know, he's a North Carolina guy out of Statesville, North Carolina, which I'm from the Carolinas myself, so I'm familiar with that area. And he was at UNC Charlotte and transferred in from there. And I tell you, it was my first look at him last week in week number 1. I was impressed with his polish and his ability there in terms of his mechanics, way he delivers the football. And we'll see if he can lead the Triton offense here into pay dirt in this good opportunity.
Oh yeah, well, he led the team in passing yards just a week ago with 133. Brady Pope under center. He's going to hand it off to Washington. Washington gets clobbered right away within the hands of number 36 for Iowa Western. That'll be Tyler Casotti.
That's a good form tackle right there by Casotti. He did a tremendous job of wrapping up. Just a 1-yard gain, going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Shotgun now. Pope now, he's going to look, he's going to hand it off right here. Back to Washington, he's not going to make a lot for it. Going to get just about another yard. Brings it to 3rd down.
A little bit of conservative play calling here in this drive. 2 inside handoffs.
Now the Tritons are not inside the 10, so they do have another opportunity to get a 1st down. They reach about the 2-yard line, it looks like. Pope now back to pass. He's going to look. He's going to fire towards the end zone and just misses Ridgway. Oh, goodness. Madison Ridgway has had a few attempted passes go his way that have just barely missed the mark.
Yeah,
and that one was in the end zone.
Brady Pope would like to have that one back. You could see he was disgusted with himself there because he had an open look to throw that one. The window was there. Ridgway had one-on-one coverage. He just overthrew it, did Brady Pope. And unfortunately, that means a 4th down and a field goal attempt here. 27 yards here for
number 27, Colin Swigman.
Yeah.
Perfect number,
huh? How about it?
Gets it up. Gets it in right down the middle. 3-6 now, early on in the second quarter. You know, we saw Iowa Western score within the first minute and 30 seconds in the first quarter, and now Iowa Central does it in the second quarter. Maybe we're going to have a shift of momentum here.
Now, I said earlier with Iowa Central when they were backed up, the defense was on their own 22 to hold the offensive Iowa Western to a field goal. That was a win. Well, that's a win for Iowa Western's defense right there, as Iowa Central had the ball at the Western 13, and they end up holding them to a field goal. So both defenses there standing up in a difficult situation and making a play to hold the offenses to 3 points. But nonetheless, that cuts the lead in half here. So the Triton offense on the board, but they're going to have to find something and get something going in terms of some momentum, some rhythm offensively.
And the Tritons have had opportunity to score early. I mean, we saw Iowa Western backed up in their own end zone, missed 2 tackles for Glantz. And now that they were in the 15-yard line and they went away with the field goal, you gotta go out there and just get it done better.
Yeah, have to execute here as we move forward.
Comes kickoff, and it's be sent out of bounds. Yeah. That's the second time in this one it's gone out of bounds.
You know, that's a stark contrast from last week. Swigman last week had 2 that went for touchbacks, you know, and was really good in that phase of the game. And this week is just a little off. We talked a little bit as the game has went on about the play of the special teams, and Iowa Western really has had the advantage in terms of special teams here in the first half.
I mean, he's got a little more pressure when his team's on bottom now. He was not used to that last week, as he's got to ride the winning team the whole game now. Here comes Glantz back to pass as he'll miss his target. That was James Gilbert. Pass a little low there.
Tristan Watt did a good job to get some pressure there on Nate Glantz, forced to throw a little early. It's a good play action fake there again by Glantz, though. I have been impressed with the way they've really sold those fakes here in the first half.
And Iowa Western, their play calling really likes the post route. They've called 3 now, and they haven't got any to convert, thankfully, as they usually go for a long score. That one will go out of bounds. Yeah, Major Williams was on that one for the Iowa Central Tritons.
It's been post out of play action, and it's been curl out of 3-step drops.
Yeah.
In the first half. As Williams able to stay on the curl route that time, that one incomplete.
Got another switch up for running back, Kedrick Osuwara. Now in this one, and another play action fake. We got Glantz missing again. The 3rd time on that one, and they're going to go 3 and out. So here comes on the punt team. Cody Lindquist. He's going to come out here, punt for Iowa Western.
And for Iowa Central, C.J. Christian back deep to receive. See if the Tritons maybe try to come with a little heat, see if they can get a big play on a block here, or if they're just going to set up the return.
To start off the second quarter, we've seen Iowa Western now throw a turnover and then go 3 and out.
Right.
So they're really down right now, and Iowa Central's got to take them while they're down. Here comes our very own return man.
Big return for C.J. Christian right there, and sent Iowa Central up in good field position. Right near midfield, I think going to be marked at the 48. The Triton 48, that is.
The Tritons are beating their opponent while they're down.
Other than the one long Iowa Western drive that was 11 plays to open the game, the Iowa Central defense has really dug in since then and played well. Brady Pope. I noticed it as soon as you did.
Yeah, Brady Pope back in now, and he's got his own read option. It looked like he faked it to the wrong side, though, but he's going to dribble his way for a few yards.
Yeah, that one looked like it was a little bit of a miscommunication for Brady Pope.
When you fake the wrong side, they say usually a double negative equals a positive, but a double fake equals some negative yards. That's for sure there.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where if you're just not a supreme athlete, there's nothing you can do right there. You're just going to take a loss unless you're a supreme athlete. And as good a player as Brady Pope is and a polished quarterback as he is, he's not a supreme athlete in terms of run and jump.
Maybe they'll work their way back to a supreme athlete. And Washington, he gets the handoff right here. Here comes the juke move. Gets inside. He's going to carry his way for a few yards, get his way close to an Iowa Central first down. Not yet, though.
The offensive line got a surge there, came off the ball. The big hog mollies right behind Trey Winters at center there, the 340-pounder. Young man's a Big Mac value meal from about 350, and he leaned on his man right there to open up the hole.
This is where Pope's got to capitalize. Byron Jarrett struggled on third down. Let's see if he can get it here. Pope now. She's going to hand it off.
Depends on if they're going to give him forward progress, but he's going to be real close, short. Going to be short, going to bring up fourth down.
He couldn't conduct much on that third down, but
they didn't need a whole lot, but they weren't able to open up a gap there. Iowa Western came with a run blitz, kind of brought the entire linebacking core in on those inside gaps, and they were able to blow that play up short.
And what you said earlier, Rob, just that execution that the Tritons need that we haven't seen a lot of in this first half.
And they're going to punt it away, so that's a missed opportunity after a good return by C.J. Christian.
We'll have 11 minutes left in the half, though. Oh, got a flag called.
Motion penalty, let's see. Yep.
I will say I don't hate a motion penalty when they're hovering over their own 50-yard line, as they can maybe have a better opportunity for the ball not to go into the end zone, but maybe corner it right out of bounds within the 20-yard line or so. I mean, in the 10 is ideal. We saw a great punt earlier. Let's see if we will see another one.
Yeah, I agree with you. That motion penalty doesn't hurt you too much right there.
Jacob Tokheim now coming on for the punt. So he gets it real high up there. And it looked like that was Caden Wedgen that had to call for the fair catch right on the 15-yard line about, I'd say.
Yeah, and that's a tough fair catch to make when you've got the coverage team bearing down on you. It's such a high kick, and it's one where the wind here, not as bad as last week, but the wind is a factor here in the ball game, so pretty good job to stay with it.
Yeah, those defensive backs that we call runners on those punt plays, I mean, they're called runners because they make the return man want to run away, barking down at him, down his throat. So that was a good way for Wedgen to corral the fair catch and keep the possession for Iowa Western. Here comes another read option attempt as it gets blown up for our very own Josh Reed.
Josh Reed showing that speed there. He comes up out of that safety spot. He's the guy who's a utility guy, kind of the nickel back, and the guy who's being recruited by none other than primetime Deion Sanders and Jackson State football here. And you see why, because Josh Reed can absolutely pick him up and put him down and made a play there.
Comes Glantz now, empty in the backfield. He's going to do a curl route back to his tight end again. That worked early on for them, and I don't see why they wouldn't go back to that.
Yeah, they're going to go to it. Anytime that he sees the cushion there underneath, he's going to take it. That's a good pitch and catch there between Glantz and
Matt
85, Matt Burns.
There's going to be another running back rotation. Makos Todd is in for Iowa Western, excuse me. Goes right back to their tight end. Once again, Matt Burns. He's getting a lot of action today.
Yeah, he is. He's able to get in the flat there and get open. And Burns is shaking up a little bit, and he's going to come off the field.
So in goes Blake Vaughn to replace him at tight end. He's a tall, lengthy guy. He doesn't get a lot of play time, but, you know, he's got a lot of room to improve. He is only a freshman. I expect to see him at the end of this season maybe, but definitely next season getting a lot of reps in.
Certainly has the frame that you're looking for as a tight end, the physical measurables for that position.
Empty back set again. Todd motioned out. They're going to look for another curl route. Here comes Glantz out to the left.
And it's going to come back. It's going to be a hold right here, and that's a good call because Ryan Johnson was absolutely grabbed and pulled to the ground as he was about to break free and get to the quarterback.
Looked like it was Romello Gray. That was held back there.
It was actually 90 Ryan Johnson.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the tackle on this side of the field here, closest to us, that pulled him down as he was getting ready to break free.
My bad. I did see Gray was subbed out.
Yeah, Wesley Basil in there at defensive tackle now for Gray. Well, those guys that go over 3 bills like that, guys like Gray and Basil, you've got to get the fresh man in there. So that'll back them up to the 18, 1st and 20.
Glance now. Play action. He's going to roll out to the left. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Here comes a dump. He's just going to throw it over.
Got rid of it there.
You know, he treated the football like a frisbee, and he just had to throw it right out of bounds, it looked like. Avoid the sack there. Had a lot of heat coming from behind.
Pressure from Ryan Johnson, Brian Barrier there. Got both Johnson and Deontay Bryan in at defensive end here. A couple of pretty explosive, athletic pass rushers.
And we need him on this 2nd and long now. Glance back to pass, empty backside. He's going to do a quarterback draw here, designed straight for him. He's going to do 2 spins. He's going to work his way. Doesn't get the first down, but he's going to work his way real close to it.
That's a good job by Glance to see the real estate in front of him. Their offensive line did a pretty good job there of kind of angling their guys out, so that opened up the gap there for Glance to go through the middle. The zone blocking scheme there for the Iowa Western offensive line, they did a good job with it. In the zone scheme, you are basically trying to lean your guy one way and then drive him to the way you're leaning at him, and they were able to do that to open up the gap. We got a discussion from the officials here, and I'm not sure what that discussion may be, but it'll be 3rd down and 5 here.
Glance now. Got his shotgun right here. There's a nice open pass from Michael Love. Checked in the ball game. He's going to be pushed way past the 1st down and then pushed back, but Iowa Western's going to be awarded with the 1st down on that one. You know, I thought they brought Mikos Todd back in, so he would maybe be more of a blocking back there for Glance, because he's gotten a lot of pressure, but he's been running some routes as well.
Yeah, they've been releasing him out of the backfield there as a check down route. That was a big 3rd down conversion for the Western offense here.
Glance now back to pass. He's going to look. Oh. And that is completed. What a catch for number 6, Donovan Moore.
Yeah, that's a good throw, too, right there on that out route. You got to throw that out route low and away where only your guy can get it, right? It's called throwing him open, and he was able to do that. Nate Glance, again, impressive here in this 1st half.
Iowa Western, they're starting a little drive for themselves now. We got near 7 minutes left.
Down for Iowa Central in the defensive backfield. I believe that's Josh Reed. We'll have to see. Maybe C.J. Christian. Looks like cramps. No, it is Josh Reed, and it does look like maybe cramps here. see if Reed's able. He's walking off on his own power, which is a good sign. So we'll see. I'm sure him back at the ball game once they're able to get some fluids in him and hydrate him a little bit. It's a big possession right here in a 6-3 game with 7:05 left here in the first half. Big possession for the Iowa Central defense.
We got about 7 minutes remaining left in the first half. 36 is your score.
It's coming up at the half. They'll honor some of the former players here from Iowa Central. Players from the 70s and 80s in the house for a reunion. Some of the 78 national championship team on hand here at Dodger Stadium here today.
Lance now in the shotgun formation. As he'll just hand it off. As Todd's going to work his way forward. Going to push, push, push for a handful of yards.
Yeah, that's good. Second effort from him. Good job of finishing a run. That's what you want to see out of your running back there. So he's able to get that second effort.
They've got a lot of depth when it comes to the running back position.
Second and 6 upcoming right here.
We're going to go with another handoff for Todd.
Did the ball come out? I think they're going to say he's down.
Yeah. We heard some commotion. Sounding like, looks like Todd's going to be down. Yeah, I think the ball did jog around for just a second there, Rob, but you are correct. Going to be motion down there. Going to be 3rd and short for this Iowa Western team. So we're going to have an injury timeout here.
They've done a good job of keeping 3rd down manageable, 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. You know, that's so incredibly important for an offense here, and they've been able to do that in the first half.
We've seen a lot of those curl routes and those zig routes completed. Not a lot really past the 20-yard mark. The ball hasn't traveled a lot in the air, but we've seen a lot of really shifty, jukey moves to get that first down back.
Yeah, you know, both defenses I think have played really well here in the first half too, and done a pretty good job of limiting the other offense to field goals here. I mean, both defenses have been backed up from turnovers here in the first half too, and have been able to kind of hold their own. So.
Coach Todd gets off his own willpower, standing on his own 2 feet, gets his way to the sideline, so we will resume play here. Here comes Glantz with the empty backfield. We've seen quarterback draw before. Maybe we'll see it again. No, he's going to go deep. He's going to look his way down and find Donovan Moore. And look like a one-handed snag. That's going to get him a lot of yards on this one. That was Major Williams he was going up against. Just had a blown coverage there.
Yeah, Major was with him there on the island, one-on-one right there. There was no safety help, and they just went over the top, and he got the step on Major Williams there and able to bring it in, big gain, and now that sets up Iowa Western within the 10 here on 1st and goal.
Yeah, Glantz back in his red zone. See here, gonna hand it off here for number 33. That'll be Kedrick Osuora. As he'll get all the way in, and he'll score the first touchdown of today's matchup in Dodger Stadium. And that's just about that running back depth we were talking about earlier. We've seen 3 big, heavy hitters so far at the running back position. Kedrick Osuora so far in that one. We saw Zion Guerrera. He started this one. Recently, also, I mean, I think Makos Todd has actually looked the best so far, powering his way through, but that was just too much sauce to handle.
They're able to keep a fresh guy in there, and that's important there when you got a fresh guy running the football. Extra points, good.
From Josh Jasek. He's looked good in this one. He's got 2 field goals and an extra point now to his name, and then he's going to do the kickoff real soon here.
83-yard, 10-play drive that started at their own 17 results in a 9-yard touchdown run from Kedrick Asora, and now it's 13-3. So Iowa Central now has to respond. You know, there's a lot of game left, so you don't have to be in panic mode, but you do need to respond here in this last 5:45 of the first half.
You luckily are still in the first half where you can still run the ball. It's not like this is the fourth quarter. You got to come back down 2 possessions.
You got plenty of time, no reason to hit the panic button at all here, but you want to make sure that you're playing well these last 5:45, because what you don't want to do is put any more distance on yourself here and any more gap to the Iowa Western lead before the halftime break coming out.
It's going to have to start with winning the time of possession. They've given the ball away a lot to Iowa Western, where they've been able to hang on and milk the clock again and again.
The third down has been huge. The Iowa Central offense on third down has not been able to convert Iowa Western hands. That's been a major difference here in the first half.
Here comes Jasek for the kickoff. He'll hit it hard and high.
Let that one go for the touchback.
Yeah, Nick McKenzie for Iowa Central said, I'm not going to attempt that one. Just going to let it fly back, get my team back to the 25-yard line, and let's get to work.
Be interesting to see which one of the Triton quarterbacks comes out here.
Let's see here. I see Pope back there, number 18.
Yep, going to be Brady Pope.
Looks like Coach Montalto is going quarter by quarter with his quarterbacks. Pope now back pass, going to have a design screenplay. He's going to get his way over to Madison Ridgeway. We're going to need some more of Madison Ridgeway. We've seen him get a handful of targets so far in this one, but just missed opportunities. When it came to back in the end zone, he had an open zig pass that they missed early.
Yep.
I like the screen pass to start off this possession.
I'd like to see him take a shot down the field at some point in this drive here. Just try to take the top off the defense a little bit. The safety's only playing about 10 yards back from the line of scrimmage here.
And that'll work its way over to Jace Levi.
Levy came free underneath there, had a linebacker on him. That's a mismatch. Brady Pope able to find it, checking it down and finds him. Iowa Western fans here in front of us singing happy birthday to number 70, Mackay Butler, one of their offensive linemen.
Happy birthday, Mackay.
Yeah, we hope he doesn't get the present of the W here. Let's just be honest, but happy birthday to him, the big man there out of Omaha, Nebraska.
And that will move the changes. Jaden Washington get it past line of scrimmage. Pope and Washington in the backfield. Here comes another handoff going outside now for Washington. He's going to work his way really far.
He did a nice job of reading what was there, finding the lane to the outside.
That was about an 8-yard run, I'd say. Unless we're going to move the chains again. Oh, no. They're going to award him the first down, it looks like. Good call there. I guess he had some forward progress. He worked his way forward to get that one.
Now an empty backfield set here. True trips formation. Well, was till they set a man in motion now.
Yeah, I like the timeout there. I don't think I agreed with that so much. You had the running game with Washington working for you so well with the last 2 plays. Why not just keep feeding the beast?
Yeah, I kind of think that too. And I thought we would see a little heavier dose of the run game than we have seen here. So I think with the momentum there, with the way the offensive line's played on this drive specifically, you want to continue to capitalize on that momentum until Iowa Western makes an adjustment there and kind of proves to be able to shut it down. So I'm a little surprised. And here's the thing, just because they were going empty right there does not necessarily mean they weren't going to try to run the ball in some sort of quarterback draw or something like that, or jet sweep. But still, I like the power formations that they went with on this drive specifically. I mean, in this point of the first half, you're still looking for what's going to work here, and that's showing the best semblance of what's going to work long term within this ball game.
Absolutely. You know, I got to sit down with Coach Montalto earlier, and I got to ask him to see who needs to shine in this game for the Tritons to get the W, and he did bring up Jaden Washington. He wants to see a lot of yards from him today, and he wants to see more of a defined, clear-cut quarterback. Brady Pope in this one trying to make that true for him as he's going to fire at long range, but go just a little too out of bounds for that one.
Yeah, a little too long, looking for 84 right there.
Desno Washington.
Washington caught a touchdown pass last week in a similar situation there. They did a pretty good job at Iowa Western of staying home on the play action fake as they faked the jet sweep there to body.
No, it works. Desno Washington, he's got super long reach, and he's also 6'5". He can jump real high, get above the defenders. So I like the, and here comes a blitz right there. This Pope is just pressured too heavily, and he'll go down.
Yeah, nobody accounted for 23 right there. Kenny Wilkins Jr. Wilkins Jr., the lone returning starter for Iowa Western from last year's defense there, and he came off of the edge out of that outside linebacker spot, was untouched. Got to be able to pick him up when he comes on the rush like that.
And that was just Maximus McCree that was distracted by his primary defender there, our right tackle.
Brings up 3rd and long.
Comes Pope. He's going to mesh it. He's going to do a little motion out for Dalen Bodie. Here comes a flag thrown, pre-snap, and here comes Pope now on the scramble. He's going to try to work his way. He's going to be stopped.
I think it's going to be offsides against Iowa Western there, though. They did jump in the neutral zone. I'm not sure if there was motion on the Iowa Central offensive line or not.
Good call, Rob.
That's a break there for Iowa Central. That's going to set them up at 3rd and 6, so certainly a break for the offense. Now you have to take advantage of it.
Got 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Tritons 3, Reivers got 13 now. And the Tritons need something heading into halftime. You don't want to go into halftime down 2 possessions, but if you bring back to just 1, that'd be nice.
At the very least, you don't want to go in down any more than 10.
Here comes Pope now on the scramble. He's going to work his way forward. He's going to slide.
First down.
Let's see if they award it to him. It's going to be really close.
Oh, wow.
4th and short.
Oh, wow.
Really close. You know, I'm happy he slid, though. You don't want to risk injury for your quarterback.
Yeah, but, you know, in a situation like that, sometimes you got to just put the shoulder down and go and get it.
Pope now over the center. There goes Washington. They're going to feed him, and he's not going to get it. He's going to be stopped in the backfield. So Iowa Western will take over.
I'm a little surprised they tried to toss sweep to the outside on 4th and inches there instead of just sneaking it.
Looked like it was linebacker Jacob Ellis that got there first for Iowa Western for that TFL tackle 4 loss. So out comes Glantz, who's been really effective in this game, and you don't want to take him over or let him have the rock with just 2 minutes to go. Still got quite a bit of time left on the clock for a score to happen.
And I hate to question coaching there, but I don't know about that play call. That's a little bit puzzling to me in that 4th and inches situation.
Glantz now back to back. Empty set, deflection now. Iowa Central about came away with another interception. Had Mitch Baywick that was there in coverage.
That would be big if they can create another turnover right here before the halftime break with just 1:50 left here in the first half. Tritons, of course, trailing 13-3. So if they can create a turnover, flip the field here before the half, that would be big.
Gonna motion the tight end for this one, Matt Burns. Go out wide. Comes back to pass now. Pope. Excuse me, not Pope, but Glantz fires it out wide. Josh Simmons now getting involved early. See the play call here. Got some more motion, lots of motions in this game for their offense.
They're going to say that Glantz was down when he grabbed the football. His knee was on the turf there. They blow that one dead.
Game clock still moving now. After that was essentially a knee, really.
Under 90 seconds left in the first half.
Glantz in the shotgun. He's going to work his way back. He's going to fire the pass. He's going to get it to his target. That was Michael Love on that one. Here comes Iowa Western now, taking his way to their side of the 50 with just 57 seconds left to go in this one. Glantz now, empty back set. He's going to work his way back. Do a curl route over to Burns. Burns pushing his way forward, but he's going to be looking straight for four Iowa Central defenders, pushing him back.
Burns has been impressive here in the first half. That's his fourth catch here in the half.
Comes now, here's a read option. And a fumble! Here it goes now, and Iowa Central recovered.
Josh Reed, I think.
That was Malika Cure for Iowa Central recovered, and he's going to go way back over to the 50-yard line for Iowa Central.
Wow. Big play from Malika Cure right there. The Western Kentucky transfer showing in some of that explosiveness, and that's a huge play for Iowa Central because Iowa Western was knocking on the door again.
And that's just the awareness of Malika Cure to be ready and ready to run. After he recovered it, usually you just want to dive on that ball, but he picked it up and went flying.
When you got a guy who has the kind of explosiveness and speed he has, if he picks it up with some daylight, you said, take it, man, take it. And he's able to take it up the field and put the offense now in a pretty decent position. 23 seconds left, and the Tritons don't have any timeouts, so they're going to have to manage it here.
Brady Pope now empty back set. Let's see what he does here. Looks like we had some motion on the defensive side.
I think they're going to say it was the offensive line of the Tritons that moved first.
Let's see here.
Yep.
That was Jacob Bradford that moved there for Iowa Central.
First and 15 here. And you've got to get out of bounds here if you throw down the field because you don't have any timeouts.
23 seconds left now. Pope back to pass. He's going to look, fire over the center. And he's lucky that one got down.
Yeah, they cloud coverage there for Iowa Central, or Iowa Western, excuse me, defensively. They're dropping everybody, so they're not going to allow a whole lot of gaps here, nothing too deep.
That was Dennis Fisher for Iowa Western lurking for the interception. Didn't make it to the ball in time, although.
I think you're going to have to take the out route to the sideline here with 19 seconds left.
Their pass here down, going to work his way to the left. He's going to fire.
Nice throw.
Oh, and it's dropped. Oh, goodness. Let's see if it's called incompletion.
Wow.
That was actually to Jaden Washington.
Yeah, Washington ran a wheel route there.
And it got right in his hands, but he buttered it up.
Man, Brady Pope could not have made a better throw because that was a tight window that he threw between the safety and the corner right there in the zone coverage on the run.
And you know what? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise as there's only 11 seconds left. They would have had to go down and spike the ball right away. But now, if you want, you can have 2 shots to the end zone here. Or you can just knee it.
Yeah, but the thing is they would have put him in maybe a position to get a field goal right before the half if he makes that catch down there.
Yeah. Pope now going to hand it off to Washington. He's going to hurdle. He's going to break free. Tritons are going to have to work fast. Looks like they're not going to get there in time, so that'll be it for the first half. Tritons with 3, Reivers with 13. You know, what I saw in the first half is Glantz is really, really impressive, but he has made a handful of freshman mistakes. That is granted. That is very fixable, of course, but he's had 3 turnovers, I believe, now. We've seen him run the ball a lot, but he's just been kind of the deciding factor. His connection with Burns has put them over top in this one.
Well, yeah, offensively they have, but I like what their defense is doing. I really think both defenses are playing really well, but Iowa Western's defense, I think, has been dominant and put them in a position where they've just given up 3 points. And the 3 points they gave up in the first half was when Iowa Central got it off a turnover. They got it off a interception and started at their at Western's 13. So when that happened, you know, that's a big play in this game. So to me, Iowa Western's defense has been dominant in the first half, and the Tritons going to have to go to the drawing board here in the halftime locker room and figure out what's going to work here, and let's see what kind of adjustments they can make offensively.
Yeah, you got to adjust to those miscommunications that the Tritons had, along with the Tritons just got to execute better. They've had plenty of opportunity to take it over and get back on the board, but coming out of the first half with just 3 points is not enough whatsoever.
Yeah, you're going to have to move the football. You're going to have to put some points on the board here in the second half.
And if anyone's going to be the one to take it over, I'm going to guess Jaden Washington is going to come out. He's going to get that first score for Tritons. That's what I believe.
And we'll see how that plays out here going up in the second half. Of course, out on the field here, they're introducing a lot of the former players who were here for a reunion this weekend. So big shout out to those guys, a lot of the members of the 1978 National Championship team here at Iowa Central. So good to have those guys on campus and here today. And maybe that'll give a little goodwill, if you will, here in the second half to the Triton offense to get going.
Hopefully, yeah. I'll tell you what, when was the last time you've been a part of a homecoming in April for football?
But never.
Yeah, COVID's been really, really strange this year. That was something that I actually got to sit down with Coach Montalto and talk about the prep when it comes to COVID. And you know what? He gave me a list of things to say about it, because really it's been a struggle. I mean, you got to keep your guys involved. You got to keep them in the weight room still. You got to get them to keep coming to practice. I mean, we got a lot of leaders on this Iowa Central team, thankfully, that can push the guys to work harder and be better. But he said that the preparation for COVID has been unreal. I mean, these guys haven't played in a long, long time.
500 days.
Yeah.
Was what it was until last week to open the season.
A year and a half. I mean, and that's a huge difference when it comes to some of these other sports that got to play right before COVID had hit.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And everybody's still working out the bugs a little bit because of COVID, working out some of the kinks and that kind of thing. And as the season goes along, teams are going to look different than they look right now. But what you have to worry about is one game at a time. And for the Tritons, they have to worry about this second half getting going, and they have to get going in a hurry. But the nice thing is they're, still really in this game and within striking distance, down 13-3 here at the half.
Maurice Smith, Armin Johnson.
I'll tell you what here, Hank, let's take a break throughout the half, let them introduce the former players here on the field, and everybody watch that, and we'll come back here in a few minutes and get you set for the second half and talk about what the Tritons can do to make it happen here as they're down 13-3 at the half. How's that sound?
Hey, sounds good to me, Rob. Well, we'll catch right back to you after the halftime break.
Thanks to players like this that Iowa Central has the tradition that they have. where you're coming back through, back this way. Yeah. Is there room? Is there room?
Alrighty, I'm back here. I'm Hank Ambrose. I'm joined here with Rob Jones, covering some Iowa Central football. What do you see so far in today's game, Rob?
Well, 13-3 here at the half. Iowa Central, both offenses really have, been kind of stagnant here, but especially Iowa Central offensively, only a handful of first downs in the first half and just 3 points, and that came on a short field after a turnover. So both defenses have been very strong in the first half and have dominated this football game. Now it's going to be a question of which offense can make the adjustments here in the second half and make more plays, and the Triton offense is going to have to get going if they want to win this football game.
Absolutely. You know, we have not seen really any execution for Iowa Central offense. They're still trying to work out the kinks. I mean, they don't really know who their starting quarterback is yet, whether it's, Byron Jarrett or Pope. They have gone back to them in the first quarters, starting off with Jarrett and then with Pope in the second quarter. And they've been playing very similar, not putting up a lot of stats, struggled moving the chain. And you know what? Also, when it comes to Iowa Western side, we've had Zach Strickland, who's the go-to linebacker for Iowa Western. He's been out since the very first play of the game. He's on crutches now on the sideline. He looks okay, but prayers to him. I hope he recovers soon. But he's, like I said, usually the go-to guy, and to have him out is an advantage for Iowa Central. So they really got to take advantage of that. Otherwise, they're going to just be getting beaten down and down again and again.
Yeah, we're going to see if they're able to maybe use the flats and the underneath part of the field in the second half as a result of that. But as you mentioned, Iowa Central offensively has been out of sync here, and let's see if they can get some rhythm going for the second half.
You know, a good thing about Iowa Central now coming into this second half is they will receive the ball.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can get going early. They struggled going up against Iowa Western in that first drive. I mean, granted, at the same time, we had their quarterback look so well, Nate Glantz, a freshman. You know, he's out of Omaha, Nebraska. And you know what? I mean, you could take so much away from his game. He's been scrambling. He's been finding his targets really well. Yeah, he's got some turnovers, but those are just freshman mistakes he can make up for later on in his career with Iowa Western.
Yeah, and he's playing against a good defense, too. Major Williams and Alex Gully back to receive the kick here for Iowa Central as we open up the second half.
Yeah. I mean, Kingston McKinstry and Major Williams are the two main guys on the defensive back front that he's going up against, but he's done really well against them so far in this one. And here's the kickoff. And right there we had Anik McKenzie had to jump right on it. He's going to return it. Oh my gosh, started off with a fumble, and he's got everyone beat. He's got end zone looking in front of him. He takes it back yard. And Iowa Central's going to be dancing their way into the end zone to start off the second half. 9-13 so far. Let's see what we can do for the PAT.
Big play for Anik McKenzie. And that one didn't look good to start with after he kind of mishandled it, but man, he was able to make a play and find some room and took it all the way to the house. 97 yards, I believe, by the time he picked it up around the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I was fumbled around, and you know what? I had my lips shut and my fingers crossed because I saw him fumbling that ball. I thought it was going to go straight back to Iowa Western in their own red zone, but no, he picked it up and went straight off to the races. I mean, if he wasn't in a football uniform, I thought he would have been running a 100-yard dash at about 9 seconds. That was awesome.
After the extra point, they've got something going on with the penalty marker. And we'll see what the call is going to be there, but Swigman does knock it through the uprights to cut the lead to 13-10. And a big momentum shift play there by Anik McKenzie. You know, the old saying, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. What a time to do that for Anik McKenzie.
Yeah, the Triton special teams has been really good early on in this season. We had Swigman, who is the special teams player of the week in the ICAC conference, but so far now, I mean, special teams is also a part of the game of football, so we got to account for it. Gets it on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. And in the first half, Iowa Western won the phase of the game in terms of special teams, but Iowa Central has kind of made that switch. The pendulum of momentum, if you will, has shifted now, and a big play for McKenzie to open the second half.
Colin Swigman now will be the kicker for Iowa Central as he's going to rally the troops to send it all the way down to Iowa Western side.
Yeah, and that penalty against Iowa Western is going to mean the kickoff is going to be at midfield for Swigman, so he should be able to knock this one into the end zone for a touchback.
Now, we have seen him struggle early, kicking the ball out of bounds twice on each kickoff now, so hopefully he will correct his mistakes. Got a little bit of wind here over in Dodger Stadium, but
wind's going to be to the back of the Tritons here as it's blowing that direction here, so that's an advantage here in the second half.
Swigman now. Hard, high, and up there, and it's going to be a touchback. So the Iowa Western will take over at the 25-yard line.
Swigman almost kicked that one into the parking lot out there with the wind with him and the short field there. Pretty easy to drive that one. And now let's see if the Triton defense can get a 3 and out, get the ball back here, keep the momentum rolling for the Tritons here after the Anik McKenzie 97-yard kick return touchdown.
And if you're Nate Glantz, you got to be fired up to start off this second half. You showed a lot of athleticism in the first half, and after your special teams unit just did that, you got to go, man, I want the ball. I want it quick as soon as possible. I want to go out there. I want to show why I'm the clear-cut starter one. No doubt so far in this one. It's going to go handoff here to start off the second half. It's going to go for about 2 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 8 now for Iowa Western.
Romello Gray back in at defensive tackle, holding the A-gap down there. They're going to walk the linebackers up closer to the line of scrimmage here.
Comes Glantz now. He's going to glance the field. He's going to go way left outside. He's going to have a completion. Work his way down, and oh my goodness, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling all the way past the 50-yard line.
And that one
is receiver.
That one, the Tritons are lucky that one didn't go for a touchdown, really.
And that was Roscoe Parrish out of Miami, Florida. He's a little guy. He's only 5'9", but, you know, he worked his way all the way past the 50-yard line for Iowa Western. And here comes the explosiveness of the offensive we thought we'd see earlier on in this game, but didn't. Glance now with another handoff. He's going to go Zion Guerra right here in that one. He started the game for Iowa Western, but was subbed out, where they really have a four-headed backfield back there at the running back position for Iowa Western. I mean, they got Zion Guerra. They have, you know, Kedrick Osuora, who scored the first touchdown of the game. Really, really good rotation.
Yeah, he's got depth in the backfield there, and they're able to keep a fresh man running the football, and that's important as the game wears on.
Play action now. Comes Glantz looking over the field. He's going to scramble. He's going to run. Stutter step. He's going to work his way out of bounds, and they're going to move the chains. First down for Iowa Western.
Again, the mobility of Nate Glantz there. We've talked about it all game, but he put it on display again. He was able on the previous play to scramble and find Parrish out in the flat there on the far side, and then that time able to scramble and find some running room.
I don't know if you saw, but he stared Major Williams right in the eyes, and he did a little dance, shimmy, shake to try to discombobulate him, but did not happen there. And there's an abrupt stoppage of the play right there. Zion Guerrera does not get anywhere for Iowa Western on that handoff. So it'll remain about 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, if you will.
Dylan Kane and Olendike in there to make the stop on that one, blow up the run play.
Whoa, Matt Burns jumping the gun. He's gonna move him back, make the next play about 2nd and 15 now. Burns was really impressive in the first half.
And we have not called the name of Deontay Bryan. He's in there at defensive end. He had a big game last week. Let's see if he's able to make some plays here in the second half.
Lance preserving the field. He's going to go deep. He's going to go long. He's going to work his way all the way to James Gilbert, who gets just yards away from that end zone.
Slant route underneath there to Gilbert and one-on-one coverage. Good pitch and catch from Glantz and Gilbert there.
Yeah, that slant route is just an adjusted post route that they ran a lot in the first half. They got it to convert there. Now they're inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Glantz now is going to look. RPO. He's going to throw it all the way up to Samuel Ngoli, who's going to get stopped at about the 5-yard line as well.
That's a good job by Amon Glass right there to wrap him up. Pretty good job staying home by the Triton defense. Marching down the field here is the Iowa Western offense.
On 2nd and goal here, he's going to hand it off to Zion Guerrera. Trying to get inside, but he's going to be stopped inside the 5 once again. It's about 3rd and 1 from the goal now.
Officially 3rd and goal from the 2.
And Glantz is going to send Donovan Moore in motion, but he's going to keep it himself. And a stop.
They stopped him short.
What a stop. That'll take it to 4th down.
It's going to be 4th and goal at the 1.
When you got a quarterback as versatile as Glantz, I really got to think about going for it here. Got about inches away from the end zone. He's so quick. He can run the RPO, which is so impressive. He's only 19 years old.
Player down for the Tritons there as they tend to him. So 4th down is going to be upcoming here. And it looks like they're going to leave the offense on the field and go for it. And I think that's probably the right call. So to me, biggest play of the ball game is going to be upcoming here thus far in terms of being 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. a lot of credit to Iowa Western here because Iowa Central got some momentum on the Anik McKenzie 97-yard touchdown kickoff return here to open the second half, and Iowa Central, or Iowa Western, excuse me, has come down now, and they have marched the field here on the ensuing possession.
Yeah, after that kickoff return, all I think it really did was kind of pierce the horns of the bull, as you know, the Reivers have came out really, really strong in this second half on offense anyway.
Yeah, this has been a very good drive for them. They put together about a 9-play drive here in this first possession for them in the second half. Similar to the way they opened the game. They opened the game on an 11-play drive that resulted in a field goal here. And this one's going to be 4th and goal from the 1. If Iowa Central can get a stop here on 4th and goal, that gives them all the momentum coming forward here. We're going to get the injured player to his feet here.
Looks like it's Kingston McKinstry that was down. He's a toughie. I mean, it's going to hurt to have him off the field for this upcoming play.
Yeah, and we're going to see if he returns to the ball game, because if not, that's a big loss for the Triton defense here.
He is up on his feet now, walking off. And here comes the 4th down and goal.
Deontay Nelson, number 21, coming in here for McKinstry. Power set.
This is going to say a lot about the rest of the game here. Nate Glantz, the freshman quarterback, he's going to hand it off, and it's stopped. Excellent defensive stop for Iowa Central Tritons. What a play. 10-13, 10 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the Iowa Central Tritons stop Iowa Western on 4th down and goal. Backed up into their own end zone.
Goal line stand. Big time play there. They're able to get penetration. And, you know, Iowa Western has had success with their offense, but have not had much success running the ball between the tackles. And they're able to get penetration as the Triton defense there. Big goal line stop, and now they'll give the ball to the offense for the first time in this second half. And we'll see if the offense can get something going deep in their own territory.
It's going to be Brady Pope back in at quarterback. We saw him play in the second quarter. He's got to be really smart here, as he's already standing in his own end zone. Shotgun formation. He's going to look back to pass. He's going to go long all the way, and just a little too long for Madison Ridgeway. Goodness gracious, about got it in the hands of the guy that can shimmy shake all the way down the field.
That's not a bad idea there, try to take the top off the defense here. You know, you throw it 35, 40 yards down the field like that, try to get some room to work with.
Taking a shot on 1st down is going to bring the safeties having to go back a little more to prepare for the next shot. It's going to be a handoff for Washington. He's just going to get about a yard or two, making it 3rd and 8 now for Iowa Central. They're going to be on their own 5-yard line.
This for sure will be a passing down unless they decide to be conservative here on 3rd down.
Got trips to the left. Brady Pope now, back to pass. He's going to look. He's got some curl routes for him. He's going to fire over the center. Let's see the call here. It's going to be a catch.
To the 1st down.
What a catch. That'll be for Savion Johnson for Iowa Central. He's going to pull the Tritons out of a pickle. Backed up in their own 5, and now the Tritons are going to be at their 22-yard line. Here comes a handoff to Washington. Washington's going to push forward. And Washington was picked up off of his feet and slammed hard to the ground. Looked like he was defending off a WWE type move.
Suplexed right there was Washington.
Here goes the ball now. 2nd and 6 on about the 26-yard line. Brady Pope now back to pass. He's going to scramble around. He's going to look right. He's going to fire right. He's going to get a completion there. Look.
Jace Levy with the catch there on the far side. Sets up 3rd and short.
Took him about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 about. Pope now in the shotgun formation again. We don't see a lot of under center plays from this Iowa Central offense, despite the 3rd and short.
Neither team has been under center much in this game.
Pope now. He's going to keep the ball. He's going to look left. He's going to throw it over to Savion Johnson, but it's going to be way over his head.
Johnson, a smaller receiver, and that one just overshot him there. He was unable. He went up the best he could to climb the ladder, unable to get it. And that's a big misfire, and now the offense will have to kick it away.
Redshirt sophomore Savion Johnson is just 5'6", and he would have needed at least a 50-inch vertical to get that pass to be completed. So the Tritons will punt on just 4th and short. Here it comes. Up, up, and away. It's going to be back towards the return man. And here comes Michael Love coming back for Iowa Western. He's going to juke back inside. He's going to get to about the 50-yard line.
Good return.
There's been a lot of times where each team has started on the opponent's 50-yard line. Not a lot of tough situations.
Yeah, it's been pretty good field position for Iowa Western most of this game. Starting in Triton territory at the 48.
Glance now in the play action. He's going to throw it over. To, I believe that was Josh Simmons. Yeah.
He was looking for Simmons. Coverage by Deontay Nelson, who's now in there after the Kingston McKinstry injury. They've got Nelson at one corner. They've moved Williams to safety here. Josh Reed also in at safety.
Yeah, at least we got Major Williams backing up. McKinstry's really good defensive back, man. I mean, he's a D-back. He's not just a cornerback. He can do it all.
Yeah, versatile guy for sure.
Here comes a miscommunication, and the running back, number 33 for Iowa Western, gets blasted. That is Kedrick Osuwara, who originally got the first touchdown in this ball game.
Ryan Johnson blew the play up from the defensive end spot, and then 17 Malik Adams came in and was able to clean it up. There's a penalty marker down. We'll see what the call is. So that's going to back up Iowa Western on that call. I'm going to make 3rd down. 3rd, and as they would say where I come from, a country mile.
Yeah, it's going to be really far back there, but you know what? They got the quarterback and the arm strength that he can, you know, fire it real long. If not, we've seen a lot of quickness from Michael Love. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a designated screen towards him.
Tritons look discombobulated here on defense. We're going to widen out the lineman, try to bring a rush.
And here comes the quarterback draw. They had 5 receivers in total backed up there. And you know what? To take a quarterback draw when it was about 25 yards away to go to the first down line, that's a lot of guts.
Well, I'm not sure that he had a lot of choice. He was under a little bit of pressure there, too. And with a quarterback draw play in that situation, sometimes what it is the safest play, so that you know you're not going to turn the football over there. And so you basically say, okay, well, we know it's 3rd and 35 or whatever it was, 3rd and 30. So not a lot in playbook there, so you kick it away on 4th down here. Triton's going to take a timeout, and I'm not exactly sure what they saw as to why to take a timeout here on 4th down when you're going to get the ball back off the punt.
Yeah, it was really, really long. I mean, I'm going to say it's about 4th and near 20 still.
Yeah, it's 4th and 20.
I mean, using timeouts in the 3rd quarter is not really necessarily wanted or ideal, but maybe it's to turn up the guys' momentum, give up an attitude boost. They're going to get the ball back and hopefully put the Tritons back in scoring position.
Savion Johnson's going to be back to return for Iowa Central here. You wonder out off that timeout if they're going to come after the punt here. They're showing they may bring some pressure.
Comes the punt. It's high, not super long. Savion Johnson's going to let it go. It's going to be right at the 25-yard line, so necessarily a touchback, really, if you will.
Yeah, kinda.
Puts in the same position still.
Trailing by 3 here with 6:37 in the 3rd quarter as Iowa Central down 13-10. And some momentum here early in the half, Hank, with the Anik McKenzie touchdown, 97 yards on the kick return to cut it to 13-10. Let's see if the offense can get something going after they really had opportunities last possession, were unable to cash in.
Here comes back out Brady Pope. Pope now is going to hand it off to Washington. Washington is going to get stopped right at about where he started. Looks like it's going to be about a 2nd and 10 again.
Good job by the Iowa Western defensive line there. The first man in was number 96 in there, and that's Quaden Ballou. He blew up that play. He's a freshman out of Des Moines, Lincoln.
Brady Pope now back to pass. He's going to look around. He's going to be really pressured. He's going to make his way out of it. He's going to look right. He's going to fire now. Pass completed, possibly. Let's see what the call is here.
Yep, they're going to say he caught it.
Excellent catch for the Tritons.
Savion Johnson with the catch for the 1st down. And Brady Pope did a nice job of buying himself time, but Jaden Washington, the key to that play, picked up the blitz there. Otherwise, Pope would have been sacked.
You know, I was about to say, I wonder what Coach Montalto sees in Brady Pope rather than Byron Jarrett, but that kind of proves what he sees, that mobility, able to get out of the pocket and still complete the pass. Madison Ridgeway now getting in on the catch.
9-yard gain right there, so it'll be 2nd and 1.
Pope now hands it off to Washington. Washington bursts free, and he'll pick himself up the 1st down.
And that's just the 2nd rushing 1st down for the Tritons in the ball game.
Tritons now going to be at the 35-yard line. They're pushing their way down the field. It looks like that timeout played into effect really well. Madison Ridgeway now is back on in the catch. He's ran a lot of curl routes today.
Pope seems to have some rhythm going, confidence going here delivering the football. It's a big play here with about 4:30 left. Big possession as the Tritons can drive it down here.
It's about 2nd and 5. Pope now, he's going to be back to pass. He's going to look short. He's going to have to run his way left. He's going to look. He's going to keep the ball, and he's going to run it back out.
Be just shy of the 1st down, about a couple of yards shy there.
We'll call it a 3rd and 2 now. recognizing the run is really, really good for Brady Pope. I mean, he sees that the short passes were covered. You know, we had Iowa Western's quarterback, Nate Glantz, make the mistake earlier. He threw the interception towards a curl route, trying to force it. There's Washington now on the handoff. He's going to work his way in the misdirection back up to the center of the field. And that's a first down for your Iowa Central Tritons.
Going a little heavier with the run game here, and I like that. The offensive line able to part the waters, and Jaden Washington took advantage of it.
And here's the hurry-up offense now. And another handoff to Washington. He's going to drive, and he's going to get just a few, at least back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, and he's slow to get up here, too.
Washington tackle play, brought out by Cleveland Ellis.
That one just didn't materialize.
Here comes the sub in and sub out. I see Savion Johnson's coming in along with Dalen Bodie. He's going to be the second string running back for your Tritons.
I think this is going to be motion against the Iowa Central offensive line. Yep.
It's Anthony Berry for the Iowa Central Tritons.
Berry at that left tackle spot, jumped the gun there.
Second and long now. I'd call it second and 15. Pope in shotgun formation. He's going to look play action. He's going to go to the right side of the field. And you know what? He kind of threw up a duck of a pass, and it just went through the hands of that Iowa Western defender. I believe that was Fareed Cheeks, defensive back for Iowa Western, that just missed that interception.
Yeah, Brady Pope and Iowa Central very fortunate right there to get away with that one. Now it's 3rd and 16 from the 18 of Iowa Western. It'll be interesting to see what they do from a play calling standpoint. Probably are in field goal range.
Yeah. Now Desna Washington has a really good advantage over Fareed Cheeks. He's got a huge height advantage if he looks right now, and he does. He's going to fire it over. Oh, and what a snap!
Johnson. Wow!
Holy smokes, Savion Johnson. The ball went just about over his head, but he just pulled it back in, and that'll put the Tritons back on top, 16-13 now, before the PAT. Wow, what a pass.
That touchdown drive goes 10 plays, 74 yards, and capped off by an 18-yard touchdown pass from Brady Pope to Savion Johnson. Tritons take the lead for the first time today.
Excellent. They got the momentum back, baby. Pope had to throw its sidearm into Savion Johnson. We did touch on he is shorter, only 5'6", so he had to reach up way high, get on his tippy toes, and he was awarded a touchdown.
Climbs the ladder, and he reminds me of Tenarius Aiken that played receiver here at Iowa Central in 2019. Very similar guys, smaller guys, but can really, really run and are very explosive. And I remember Coach Montalto telling me in 2019 about Tenarius Aiken that when you just look at him, he looks like you could pick him up and burp him, but then you get him on the field and he can flat out go. And that's the same thing with Savion Johnson, touchdown Tritons. And now they have the lead and the momentum here, Hank, as they've outscored the Reivers 14-0 here in this third quarter.
17-13 now. Here comes the kickoff. Got 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. As Colin Swigman will be the kickoff man. Had a touchback with his most recent kickoff. Maybe he'll send it back there again.
Someone will be kicking off for the Titans.
Looks like Tritons came out with one less man originally needed. They got it sorted out now, though. Garrett Olendyke was forgetting his position on the field. Here comes Wingman now for the kickoff. Line drive kick as he gets it all the way down to Donovan Moore. Donovan Moore's going to take off. He's going to go left. He's going to go a long ways. He's going to stutter step and work his way out of bounds for Iowa Western. We've seen lots of good returns for both teams.
Explosiveness in the return game. Malika Kaur knocked him out of bounds and saved an even bigger gain with a nice return.
Ball be placed at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10, Iowa Western.
A big Iowa Western contingent here. They're sitting near us. You could hear them. They're trying to will their team here as Iowa Central's taking all the momentum here in the second half. Going to be a timeout for Iowa Western.
And they needed this. They look like they look distraught when it comes to offense and defense.
Yeah, Iowa Central has started to take the control of the momentum in this ball game here, but just a 17-13 game, so it's going to be a seesaw battle here, I think, the rest of the way. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter, where the Tritons now leading 17-13. They're on a 14-0 run here, 14 unanswered points. So momentum is on the side of the Tritons here. And we've talked about, this is a big game in terms of the ICAC conference and a big game in terms of JUCO football in the top 10 rankings. You got number 9, Iowa Western, number 5, Iowa Central here. The winner's really going to have some momentum going forward out of this ball game.
Oh, yeah, Iowa Central is definitely going to be favorited if they come away with this ball game. Here we go now, play action. Going to dump it off to his right. He's going to have to throw it all the way over to Michael Love.
Deontay Nelson missed the first tackle, but they were able to clean it up a little bit there.
Lance now is going to look the field. He's going to get stuck, but he's going to roam his way out to the left. He's going to find Michael Love once again.
There's a flag on the far side. Let's see what that is, but Nate Lance again with that ability to scramble makes the play happen with his feet.
Lots of love in between that connection between Lance and Michael Love. Getting it done back-to-back times now.
Touche, Hank Ambrose. And that's going to back up Iowa Western, so that hurts their momentum a little bit there.
So here comes Glance, back with Kedrick Osuora, playing that halfback position. The hike, gonna do 5 wide set. Gonna go to the right perimeter, down to James Gilbert, who's gonna trip over himself.
See where they mark the football here. I think they're gonna mark it just short of the first down.
The ref is saying to move the change, it looks like.
Okay,
Yep.
so it will be a first down.
Referee motion to move the chains. I was gonna say it would have been a bummer to trip over yourself right before the first down yard line. Okay, now 1st and 10 at about the 47-yard line. Not yet back into their own end. Here comes the quick pass over to Michael Love. As Michael Love is going to stare down Iowa Central defender Brian Barrier, the linebacker that is just not enough to carry. Love.
Yeah, that's a mismatch underneath for sure, and they're going to have to get a handle on Michael Love because he's kind of become the favorite target here on this drive.
And he's got the ball 3 times now. Minute 35 seconds left now. Ball placed right on the 20-yard line. Glance. He's going to have to go short again, but, he lofted it up a little too high. Looked like he had Josh Simmons targeted on that one.
Deontay Nelson on the coverage again. And, kudos to Nelson. He's come in since the injury to Kingston McKinstry here and played pretty good here in his role. So that's what you have to have, next man up mentality, and Deontay Nelson making the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, same with Major Williams back out playing safety, nickel. Gets it over. RPO out left. That's Samuel Ngoli. And you know what? Samuel Ngoli, he's had 2 receptions and 2 targets so far. Both of them have been inside the 20-yard line. Last time, of course, Iowa Western did not convert when they got inside the 5, but could tell different tale of the tape here.
That was a really nice play there. A lot of options, misdirection there. Hard play to defend.
Yeah, we'll have a 1st and goal just 5 yards away from the end zone. The minute left, taken away in this 3rd quarter to go. Glance and shotgun. He's gonna go to the slant, nothing there.
Josh Reed was on the coverage there.
Pass is incomplete. Fans, at the end of the 3rd quarter, we will be drawing a winning ticket for your 50-50 raffle. So make sure you get your tickets out.
You know, head coach Jesse Montalto did say that the secondary is the anchor of his defense here, and they played good today against a really good quarterback. As they're going to get it over to Zion Guerrera, and he's going to get in. Sometimes all you need is a dump off, Rob. As Zion Guerrera gets in, he'll score for the Iowa Western Riviers, putting them back on top 17-19 before PAT. We're going to have an injured Triton down.
That's a good job of Nate Glantz there to take the check down to Zion Guerra for the touchdown. So Iowa Western going to take the lead back here. 19-17, pending the extra point. Just 45 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. They tend to the injured Triton player on the far side.
Looks like Julian Beach from St. Louis, Missouri. Going to be limping off the field.
It should be some sort of lower leg injury for him.
Yeah.
Certainly wish him a speedy recovery. We'll see if he comes back in the ball game here.
Here comes Josh Jasek. We haven't seen him in a while. He's going to do the point after attempt here. He gets it up, and they'll sink it right through. 17-20 now, with 44 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. I don't know about you, but my heart's starting to pump a little faster now as it's getting to be a really good ball game.
Yeah, it's back and forth affair here. Seesaw battle between 2 really good teams. And Iowa Western really answered the call, I thought, there after a 14-0 run, 14 unanswered for Iowa Central up until this point. The Iowa Western offense pumped up here as they come to the, especially the offensive line, as they come to the sideline here. We'll see if Iowa Central can answer. And it took a while, but both offenses now are starting to get in rhythm. Desna Washington back, I think, to receive there, or is that that is Anik McKenzie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anik McKenzie back and Major Williams back. We'll see if they kick to McKenzie again.
I would bet against that, but you never know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of eyes on Anik McKenzie this time.
Of course, he had that 97-yard touchdown return earlier in the 2nd half. Short pooch kick.
Yeah, they're going to, oh, and here comes a muffed ball, but it is recovered by the Tritons. It'll be at about the 34-yard line.
Clayton Olendike bobbled it there, fumbled it, and was able to corral it.
Yeah, Clayton Ollendijk, he plays offense. His brother plays defense. Garrett Ollendijk, he's a linebacker for us. Both of them are studs out of Cresco, Iowa. Played over for Crestwood.
Yeah, the coaching staff is saying to the Ollendijk family, have more kids so we can just keep recruiting them, you know, throughout the cycle when these two guys go out of the program.
Yeah. There we go. Pope back to pass.
Oh.
He's going to send it all the way over to Desna, Washington with the height advantage, but, you know.
Throw it behind him a little bit. Hard ball to make an adjustment on for Desna.
Yeah. Brady Pope now back to pass out of shotgun formation. He's going to look. He's going to fire. Oh, and close to being interference.
We're looking for Dylan Body.
Yeah. And that was Farid Cheeks who almost got the interception there. That's Dennis Fisher, defensive back for Iowa Western on the defensive holding play call there. Tritons are going to get some yards and some change from that. So we're going to go back to first down. We're going to be at about the 44-yard line. Pope now. He'll go and he's going to hand it off.
Body underneath. And I think the ball popped loose at some point, but the Tritons able to recover it. They didn't have a good angle on that side of the field there. Second and 8 here for the Triton offense.
It'll tick away. That is the end of the third quarter. Tritons 17, Iowa Western with 20. You know, I'm really excited that we saw so much more explosiveness in that third quarter. That's what the first half was really lacking, but hey, we got some points being scored for the Tritons.
Yeah, offensive now are starting to make some adjustments as the game wears on and able to get in a little bit of rhythm here. So it's gonna come down to this fourth quarter. That's what we expected coming into this week, a four-quarter battle against two top 10 teams. That's what we have right here at Dodger Stadium, and we're gonna see who's able to make the plays in the fourth quarter, and that's gonna be the difference in the ball game.
If we were to call it now, who's been your player of the game so far, Rob?
For Iowa Central, probably I would have to say for them, it's hard to tell because there's so much, but I would give it to Nick McKenzie because I think that play was the biggest play of the game so far to get them back into the ball game.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know, he definitely was the momentum shifter there. I'm going to give it to Savion Johnson, who caught the touchdown pass and had to rise really high up there.
Yep, had a few catches here in the second half. That sounds good, but that player of the game is going to be made here in the fourth quarter.
Brady Pope with the handoff. I believe that was handed off to Washington. And he just got a few yards there, so it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and 8. And Iowa Centrals are going to roll with Brady Pope so far.
Yep, it looks like he's going to play the rest of the way out, I would imagine. The offense was struggling, you know, early under Byron Jarrett. They had a little bit more rhythm here under Brady Pope.
Yeah, Pope really had to claw him out of a hole. Here goes Pope now. He's back to pass. He's looking right. Tries hitting a curl route.
On a late marker there. And I think it's going to be pass interference. He's looking for Jace Levy. The Iowa Western fans don't like the call there.
Iowa Western has been shooting themselves in the foot with the defensive penalties.
With that one, you know, I think the issue is how late it was, because that was really late. I mean, a phrase I like to use, 10-second tape delay late. That's how late that was.
Yeah.
And that's a big call against their defense, too. Because
Especially
there you go. Yeah, because otherwise you're punting the football on 4th down. Now it's a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, absolutely. Iowa Western fans are not happy with that one. The chains will move. Brady Pope and Jaden Washington now in the backfield, shotgun formation. Here comes a handoff to Jaden Washington. He's going to have to shift his way around to the right side and a hurdle.
A lot of activity for a short gain there. Jaden Washington trying to do what he can to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, it looks like our O-line's getting a little bit tired up in the front. Same formation at last. 2nd and long here. He's going to look back to pass. Brady Pope's going to roll out right. He's going to check down and throw it way up.
Oh.
Tried getting it over to Madison Ridgeway on that one, but he just barely missed him there. So it'll go back to 3rd and 8, where it was just at.
Third and 8 upcoming. Big 3rd down play for the Triton offense here. Trailing by 3. 13:38 left to go in the game.
Pope now back to pass once again. He's going to throw it over to a curl route, and he's going to get his way to Madison Ridgeway, who picks up the 1st down.
Big 3rd down conversion.
Here comes a 1st down at about the 27-yard line. 27 yards to go to get to that sweet, sweet end zone. Brady Pope hands it off to Jaden Washington. Washington rumbles, bumbles, and stumbles his way to no gain of yards.
They grab Washington's face mask there a little bit on the inside. No call there. So no gain, brings up 2nd and 10 from the 27.
Comes Brady Pope and Dalen Bodie back there in the backfield. He's going to look right now. He's going to target over to Madison Ridgeway once again.
You asked me who I thought in the beginning of the game would be the offensive playmaker today, and I told you Madison Ridgeway, and they're looking to him now here on this drive as kind of the premier receiver in this offense.
Now tell me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I do believe Madison Ridgeway has had the most targets for the Iowa Central Tritons in this game.
He has, and he also has the most catches on the day.
Pope now on 3rd and 2. They're going to hand it off to Bodie. Bodie's going to go. He's going to truck his way to a 1st down, looking like.
It's going to be close. Yeah, they're going to say 1st down here.
Yep. Refs with the late signal, and we got an Iowa Western player down.
So it's going to be 1st down at the 15-yard line. Technically, I guess the 16. So they're going to tend to the injured player. 12:15 left here to go in the ball game. Now every possession, Hank, at this point becomes hypercritical. So if you're the Iowa Central offense in the huddle here, you're talking about finish the job, finish the drive here. Be smart. You know, if you don't have it, throw it away. You're within, field goal range. So make the smart play, make the right read here. And if you can't get nothing more than a field goal, if you at least get a field goal here, you tie this ball game up.
Yeah, and you're in the position where you can score, like you said. And it's going to also come down to that time management. I mean, you got to go out and execute for sure, but you got to also take away the time off the clock if you want to be leading for the most amount of time in this game. You got to get the W and get it done here.
Yeah, and we're going to see time management become a big factor of this game, I think, here down the stretch. 12:15 left. here, and we will resume play now.
That was Jackson Filer that got up and walked his way out of bounds. He looks to be okay. He's just going to rest on the sidelines. He's out of Des Moines, Iowa. So here comes Brady Pope in that shotgun formation. Doing well so far in this fourth quarter. He's going to work his way to the center of the field. Good throw there.
We'll find McKenzie underneath. Good read by Pope. Take what's there. Dink and dunk your way down the field here. 2nd and 5.
11 minutes, 45 seconds to go now. 2nd and about 5. There comes the handoff. Gives it to Bodie. Bodie's going to have an opportunity to score.
A flag on the play, and I think it's going to be a hold because it's in the backfield. That or an illegal block.
Bodie did a really good job covering up the ball with both arms on that play.
Going to be a hold, so that's going to back up the Triton offense. It's a big call against them there. Big mistake to make in a critical time.
Iowa Central now on about the 21-yard line. 2nd and long. Going to call it about a 2nd and 14.
Yep, 2nd and 15 officially.
Comes Pope now. He's going to dump it off just to Bodie. Let him work. Body's looking really good.
The marker, I think, is going to be offsides, and they'll probably decline it given the gain from Dylan Bodie.
You know, Bodie's looking better than ever in the red zone. We haven't seen a lot of success from him earlier in this game, but
well, he's a guy that really his kind of skill set and his physical measurables kind of tend to lean him to have an advantage in this situation. He's more of a red zone back. He's a smaller, lower center of gravity back, kind of more of a power back than Jaden Washington is, who's more of kind of the speed back. So that's why Body is a guy who you use in this situation.
now this is interesting. We have Washington and Body in now. It's going to be handoff to Washington. Washington is stopped. He's going to lose 2 yards on that play.
And they're going to get a personal foul against 27. 27 was barking in the face of Jaden Washington there. It's Zay Hicks.
You got to have sportsmanship. Otherwise, it's going to cost you big, especially in the red zone.
Well, it gets you fired up and you're excited in that situation, but you know, you just have to keep it to a minimum right there.
And Xander Gray is really upset with his teammate Hicks. The captain's going to send him off the field. And it looks like we're going to have a heavy package now. Looks like Brady Pope's going to be under center for this play call.
And I think they just sent Hicks to the locker room. The coaching staff did. He's walking off on his own.
Here comes a handoff to Washington. Washington unsuccessful in the I formation.
That's something to keep your eye on because Hicks is a guy on that defensive line that had a lot of reps here today.
Yeah. He's a good player. He just kind of had his emotions get the best of him.
Yeah. Big rangy defensive lineman, DN, out of Georgia, Lee County. That's a good area for defensive linemen.
Pope now. In the shotgun formation, he's going to roll right after the RPO. Incomplete.
They're going to say it's incomplete. The Iowa Western fans are saying that he caught it and fumbled it out of bounds.
That was Trey Franklin that looked to have had the interception.
Big play.
But then he just threw it straight out of bounds there. So it looks like it's going to go back to 3rd down with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 7, and if you're Brady Pope, you've got to make better reads than that. You can't make that kind of decision of where to go with the football in this situation.
I mean, you want to score, but you don't want to force it in there.
Right, right.
Timeout being called for Iowa Central. They got to talk it over.
Yeah, I like this idea here. I think this is the time to talk over what you want to do, get on the same page of what you want to do defense or offensively, I should say, in a 3rd and 7 situation, 3rd and goal from the 7 right here. So one of the biggest plays of this game, one of the biggest drives of this game, and you want to get on the same page and know what you want to do with the football here. And I tell you, as I mentioned, you have to be smart with the ball here because you're in field goal range. So you don't have to do anything where you're trying to do too much right here. You take what the defense gives you right here. If you have to, throw it out of bounds and kick the field goal on 4th down to tie the ball game.
And the Tritons have just 1 timeout remaining in this one, and the Reivers have 2. So whatever team ends up taking the lead with about 2 minutes left to go is going to be in a really good position.
Yeah, because both teams are going to have a hard time managing the clock down the stretch.
Just some foreshadowing for you.
Must be an English major here at Iowa Central. I'm foreshadowing. We would say looking ahead or previewing.
Yeah, you're right.
I like that use of foreshadowing, though.
I appreciate it, Rob. Here it comes now.
Here we go.
Fans are on their feet. 3rd and 7. Brady Pope. He's going to motion his man. He's going to be open free in the backfield. He's going to look to pass.
Got time.
He can't find anyone. He's going to have to roll left. He's going to fire it out to the back of the end zone. It's going to be long.
Okay. Nothing was there. That's a smart read for Brady Pope. Throw it away. Bring on the field goal unit. That's okay.
I liked how they motioned Savion Johnson right there, but it just didn't work. Sometimes it don't.
Good coverage by the back end of the defense there for Iowa Western.
And your special teams player of the week is coming up to kick it to tie the game here. 17-20 so far in this one.
The 24-yard field goal.
He has kicked the ball out of bounds earlier. Let's see him improve this accuracy, hopefully on this one. Ball's down and it's away.
Right down Broadway.
And with 10 minutes to go, 20-20 is your score. As Iowa Central is going to get ready to kick off here just shortly.
10-play drive that goes 65 yards for the Triton and the Tritons, and capped off by a 24-yard field goal for Colin Swigman. Ties the ball game, and here we go. Hank Ambrose, 10 minutes left, tie ball game, 2 top 10 teams. Exactly what we expected playing out right here.
Yeah, and sometimes with those errors that each offensive has had in this one, really what it comes down to is these are 2 really, really good teams.
Yeah.
And really, maybe it's just that the defense just plays a little better than the offense at times.
Yeah, and especially early on in the year, you see where the defenses are usually ahead of the offense.
Yeah.
So I definitely can see your point there, and I think you bring up a good point. And we're going to see in this last 10 minutes, it's going to be about execution here, and it's going to be about players going out here and making plays in this last 10 minutes.
Colin Swigman now on the kickoff. So he's going to send it deep. Matter of fact, he's going to send it all the way over to Donovan Moore, who had a good return earlier.
Holy smokes, Deontay Nelson blowing it up.
Who got subbed in for Kingston McKinstry when he went down earlier. Holy smokes.
All you football dads out there, you got a young player who plays defense. You need to make sure you mark the tape and run that one back because, man, oh, man, that's squaring the man up and bringing him down. A form tackle by Deontay Nelson.
That was awesome. They must specialize that over in Pahokee, Florida, because that's where Deontay Nelson is from.
I can tell you right now, Pahokee, Florida is a known football area, hotbed.
And that was a good read from Nate Glantz. Threw it over to, I believe that was James Gilbert. Yeah, James Gilbert, number 3 for Iowa Western. Here comes the motion out for their running back. So they're going to have to go center. Oh, wow. Heads up play from their tight end, Blake Vaughn. Blake Vaughn subbed in for Matt Burns early in this game when Burns was cramping. They've had some really active tight ends early on in this one.
Yeah, big, tall, rangy tight ends. Nice catch there by Vaughn.
Nate Glantz now back to pass after the play action. He's going to look long, and he's going to fire. And Deontay Nelson was back there to stop that big play from happening. That was over to Donovan Moore, who he just tackled actually on the return.
Moore had actually stepped out of bounds before the ball got there. That's why you saw the official throw his hat on the field there. That's to indicate that.
Gotcha.
If he would have made the catch, it would have been illegal touching, so it would have nullified the play. So good job, the official right there in position.
Deontay Nelson and Donovan Moore got a good rivalry going on. Some blown hits between the two now. Okay, here comes Nate Glantz now. Back to pass. Open backfield. He's going to find a wide open man. Michael Love dancing his way into the end zone. And Iowa Western scores from long, about 65 yards. And that was the post route that time for Michael Love. What a play call.
Yeah, there's a big throw and catch there, and the Iowa Central defensive backfield was a little bit discombobulated there. I think they kind of blew the coverage.
Josh Jasek now for the extra point. And it's blocked, but a flag is down.
We'll see what the call's going to be on that. If it stands as a block field goal, that could be a big difference here in this ballgame.
And you know, Iowa Western just lost their season opener by 1 point.
They did. Snow College, of course, another top 10 team, Snow, and Snow will be coming here later on in the season.
Oh, yeah.
So it's against Iowa Central, so they're going to line it up and kick it again here.
Jasek will have another opportunity to make that PAT. Jasek on the kick, and it is good.
That one. Back and forth we go. Heavyweight fight, punch and counter punch. Let's see if Iowa Central now trailing 27-20. Just under 9 minutes left. Let's see if they can respond. I have to imagine that we're going to see Brady Pope again. He's kind of taking the reins for most of this game of the offense.
Looks like we have an Iowa Western player down. I'd like to see another big return from Anik McKinley. Yeah, and you know what? Iowa Central has struggled running a really successful drive without the run game.
True.
So it's going to be tough with the time ticking away in this one.
Yep.
But we got a checklist. We got to stop him on 3rd and long right here. 3rd and 15 for Nate Glantz. Let's see what he can do right here. He's just going to hand it off. Right back to Kedrick Osuwara. He's going to get a few. He's going to make it about 4th and 12. So out comes the special teams unit to punt it away.
4th and 12.
So the defense gets a 3 and out here, which they needed. We go to the 2-minute mark now. We've got a Triton down on the field. As it is it's the warmest day of the year so far here, and that's one of those deals where guys haven't been on the field in a while, and the warmer it is, the easier it is to cramp and that kind of thing. And we've seen some of that as they work on the Triton who's down here. We've seen cramps play a factor here in the ball game.
That was Major Williams that got himself back up on his feet. He's walking off good.
So this is going to be interesting here. It looks like Savion Johnson's going to be back to return the punt instead of C.J. Christian. And I would imagine they're going to come after the punt here.
And we've seen the elusivity of Savion Johnson earlier when he got that touchdown pass. Showed off his vertical leap.
I called you an English major, and I don't even think earlier in the broadcast, I don't even think that's an actual English word. Elusiveness is definitely an English word. I don't know about elusivity. I'll go with it.
Okay.
Let's see what Savion Johnson can do, and let's see if they go after the punt here. Clock ticking, 1:20 here, and then they're going to take a timeout as Iowa Western.
With a minute and 19, they just wanted to milk the clock before they punted it away.
And it's pretty smart because they did have 2 timeouts there, so it kind of makes a lot of sense for them.
Yeah. And if the Tritons do get back into scoring position and tie it up, then you'll still more than likely have at least 1 timeout to try to use in your final drive. But you know what? It's going to be tough.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that, Tritons are going to have the ball. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to score in enough time where Iowa Western even really has to worry about, getting the ball back. I think, if you're them, you're taking a timeout here because you want to make sure that you don't get this punt block. That's the biggest concern here at this point. Johnson back around his own 10-yard line to receive.
Cody Lindquist. Nice pop fly. Savion Johnson got stopped after about 5 yards of carrying the football. Penalty marker.
Penalty flag down. We'll see what it is. They're going to sort it out here. And we'll see what the call is on the return. It's going to be against the Tritons. Well, I thought it was. Yep. All right, so Triton offense has the ball here. first down from about the 15-yard line, so they're going to have to go the length of the field here, Hank Ambrose, in the last minute and 14 seconds, trailing 27-20.
It would be the longest drive they would have had to put together if they can get it to go.
Iowa Western one stop away from coming in here and knocking off Iowa Central.
Brady Pope, shotgun formation with Jaden Washington. He's going to work his way back. He's going to have to step up. Too much pressure as the pocket collapses and he gets sacked for a loss of 3.
Iowa Western really here in this fourth quarter, their defensive line has dominated the game. DeJuan McMillan able to come in and get the sack there. And we're going to have a penalty marker now. Taking that sack really hurts. Not much Pope can do. As soon as he got it, McMillan was in the backfield. Iowa Western fans can feel this one.
Okay, 2nd and 13. Pope's going to have to show some integrity here. See if he can get it done. Going to have to step back. He's looking to go long, but he'll decide on short. Jaden Washington cuffs up the football. It's going to be incomplete now.
That one was underthrown a little bit by Brady Pope there. That's one that you really wished he had back because wide open was Jaden Washington underneath. And you're going to have some of that underneath stuff open because Iowa Western's back in a prevent here. They've got 3 guys, 3 deep safeties here.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not going to get beat deep down the field.
He just tried running with the football before he caught it. Pope's going to have to step up again and throw it out of bounds. Throws it away, 29 seconds remaining, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
I can't say enough about the Iowa Western defensive line. They've made the difference in this fourth quarter, able to get pressure and to do it without having to commit extra guys to the blitz is always important. And they've done a tremendous job, and they've really outplayed the Iowa Central offensive line, to be honest, here in this fourth quarter. 4th down upcoming. This one's ball game on the line right here, Hank Ambrose.
All righty, Rob Jones, let's see what we got. Brady, back to pass. He's going to go super long. Interception. Dennis Fisher takes it back to the house. His 2nd interception of the day. 1 pick in the red zone, and 1 pick takes it back to the other end zone. We got a flag on the play now. Hold your horses.
I think it's going to be on the return. So if it is, it really won't matter.
And you know what? No matter what way you look at it, Dennis Fisher has got to be your defensive player of the game.
Oh, got to be, without a doubt.
2 deflections, 2 interceptions. Oh, let's see.
So they're going to say illegal hands to the face on the Iowa Western defense.
That's going to make it an automatic 1st down for Iowa Central, correct?
Yeah, and they're going to have, so they're going to keep the football here.
Wow.
That's a huge, huge penalty against the Iowa Western defense. Here we go, 1st down from the 26.
Trips off to the right. Back to pass is Pope. He's going to look left. He's going to fire. Back-to-back interceptions. And that one is going to be taken back to the house. Jacob Ellis, starting Mike linebacker, gets the interception. And that's going to seal the deal for the Riviers. as Iowa Western goes up 33-20 against Iowa Central in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, you can warm the bus up now, and Ellis was sitting in blanket coverage, just kind of dropped back in the zone there, and Pope threw it right to him. Didn't look him off, didn't read the zone coverage. Ellis able to pick it off and take it back. And it's crazy that would happen on 2 plays right in a row there. Iowa Western making the plays when they have to be made here down the stretch, without a doubt.
Yeah, the Iowa Western defense just beat Brady Pope mentally. Obviously, back-to-back, just bad throws. I mean, he couldn't get it in to the pocket whatsoever, but.
And he's looked a little bit out of sorts late in the ball game, and a lot of that has to do with the pressure that Iowa Western's been able to get on him.
So out comes off Josh Jasek for another PAT.
And 34-20 now. Iowa Western leads with 9 seconds left. So at this point, all over but the shouting, and certainly unfortunate for Iowa Central here. They're going to drop this game. Of course, both these teams are going to meet twice this season, as the ICAC schedule is everybody's going to play twice this year. So Iowa Central's going to have a chance at some redemption later on in the season. But dropping this one hurts here, to drop it on your home field, and also to drop it in a situation where you come in ranked. And we talked about Iowa Western having a sense of urgency after they lost their first game. They came into from the preseason ranked number 2. They have a sense of urgency after losing the Snow last week, and they've played with that sense of urgency here today.
When people go online and they look at the score 20-34, that's not going to reflect exactly what happened today. It was a close battle all throughout, blow after blow, heavy hitters. And you know what? Iowa Western just came away at the end of it. They had the majority of the lead the entire game, but these are both really good teams. Both are top 10 teams, big rivalry, and Iowa Western is just going to end up taking it away this time.
Yeah, and kudos to them, because they made the plays here late in the ball game when they had to, especially their defensive line. I thought really took it over in the last 5-6 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and, besides that, another big key takeaway is Iowa Central just really couldn't get it going on offense. Most of their points came from special teams, and just starting up the engine and getting it to go early on is just really what you need, and that's just what they couldn't do today.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with that pass rush for Iowa Western we talked about. So Iowa Central is going to take over the football with 2 seconds left, so all but academic here. There's no way to score twice in 2 seconds, so that's going to be that, and they're going to drop one. And so the question is going to be, for next week, Grandview is going to be coming in. Grandview JV is going to come in, and the challenge is going to become now not to let one loss beat you twice, and they're going to have to put this loss behind them and get to work this week to correct some of the issues, and then focus in on Grandview on Saturday and take care of business at home next Saturday against Grandview.
To reflect on the quarterback battle between Brady Pope and Byron Jarrett, what do you say is going to be the key takeaway heading into the weeks to come?
I thought Brady Pope looked pretty good for most of the game. I think the key on that, it goes more to the offensive line, because he didn't have time to throw in the last 6-7 minutes of the ball game, where the offensive line really got beat by the defensive line of Iowa Western. So the key takeaway to me is more about the offensive line than it is the quarterback battle.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Otherwise, like I said, both teams played really, really well. And if there's anything you else have to say on the game today, Rob Jones?
Well, 34-20, Iowa Western wins. I give them a lot of credit for how they're able to put their loss behind them from last week and come in here with a pretty solid game plan and make plays when they had to. Iowa Central just didn't make the plays in key situations that you need to make, and that's what happens because the gap is not very wide between winning and losing at this level. And so when you don't execute, you're going to lose games, and that is what that is. They'll have to now put this one behind them and get to work and focus, as I mentioned, on next week. So to me, that's kind of the key at this point is to bounce back from this loss. And all credit goes to Iowa Western and the way they played in here. I thought Coach Strohmeyer and his staff had them ready to go.
Absolutely. Very, very true on that one. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Triton Nation on YouTube when it comes to the fans, to the dads, to the moms, checking out their son playing in this one, all the coaches and everyone in. And thank you, Rob Jones, for joining me this Easter weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Easter.
For sure, and it's been great to be here, and thank you, Hank, too. I've enjoyed it, and a big thank you to our production staff here today and our crew making this possible today. So that is what it is. Want to shout them out. They don't get enough credit there, so we shout them out and enjoyed it, even though it's in a losing effort. It was still an enjoyable deal, and there's a lot of positives for Iowa Central to take out of today's game, and you just have to clean up the negatives and then build on the positives.
Hey, we're still early into the season, and I'm excited. We'll be right back with you to the very next broadcast here in Dodger Stadium.